28 days. Bland Ball responded to the judge's decision outside the Florida courtroom. She said, quote, "We're disappointed with the fact that they are moving forward with chemotherapy, considering all the side effects that were brought up in court today, including death," end quote. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Following the news this week that recording artist and industry magnate Bob Dylan would be laying off 2,000 workers from his Muscatine, Iowa songwriting factory in an effort to streamline his music-making operations, The Onion spoke with veteran factory worker Travis Felton, who received a pink slip earlier today.
I've been working on the lyric assembly line for 25 years now. Punch in each and every morning, make sure the words are complex and poetic. And yesterday, the foreman calls me into his office to tell me that the company is reducing headcount. They're giving the whole rhyming section the boot. What Mr. Dillon and the other suits don't understand is that here in Muscatine, songwriting is all we have. And we've been doing the best damn Dylan songs in the world for over 50 years, and now they're trying to take that away from us. I don't know what I'm supposed to do next. Well, I guess I could see if they're hiring over at the Tom Petty factory in Hurstville. Lord knows I hoped it'd never come to that.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. Welcome to the program where you can take control of the airwaves here. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We've got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms. They're open and available to you over at discord.lrn.fm, so hop into one of those if you want to sound almost like you're sitting in the studio with us. And tonight it's Ian.
Future mayor of Keene, New Hampshire, nobody.
Love it. And Chris.
So coming up tonight, apparently there's been another ban on another Facebook platform, this time Instagram, cracking down on people with photos of themselves at a gun range. And Chris, you have that story.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's on the way. But one story that the two of us both definitely had in prep together tonight is this latest news about the vape crisis.
Ooh.
The 6 deaths or whatever over however long of a period we're talking about, a decade plus.
Yeah, it's a little bit higher than that, but it's not... It's questionable.
Is it 50% higher? 9 deaths?
No. It's like I think they come up with a number like around 350 or something like that. But
is this vaping related deaths?
They don't have vaping related. None of them are tobacco vapors. Mm-hmm. They're all people who vaped THC that contained vitamin E acetate.
I have not heard the number 350 before tonight. Have you heard that?
That was not deaths. That was total people looked at as an issue.
Somebody who went to have a doctor, look at them.
The deaths,
I was talking about deaths.
9 is higher than I've heard.
Yeah. So I've heard 6 as far as deaths are concerned.
Yeah, you might be right. It wasn't. I don't know if it was deaths or if it was 350 people who had been impacted in some way or something of that nature.
There were 350 people impacting. But you have to remember also, you have to be very careful with these stories and especially these headlines, because this is a case where the media is the enemy of the people.
Absolutely.
They are lying. They are lying loud. They are lying clearly, and they are lying knowingly.
Remember, an alcohol-related car accident includes the passenger being drunk. Okay. It includes when they find a bottle of Jack Daniels in the back seat with a cap on it, and there's the driver isn't drunk. Just having alcohol in the car is an alcohol-related traffic accident. or death or whatever.
Right.
If I go to the store and I pick up some beers and I have it in the car unopened,
Alcohol related. If you get in an accident,
that is insane.
Yeah, so that's why you got to be careful. That's what he's saying. You got to be careful. What do they mean by vaping related hospital visit? What does that mean?
What the government does is they gather up data and they herd it into a concentration camp. And then they have the Joseph Mengele of statisticians come in and torture that data until it says what they want to hear. And they will accept no less. The transparent lie is that it astounds me that they keep saying vaping related when they could be warning people about a very real and very serious public health threat.
You mean the government?
Yes, specifically, that and vitamin E acetate.
This jeopardizes.
We should be testing our products to find out if they have this stuff in them, and if they do, we should be discarding those products. But because they refuse to honestly and fully report what's going on, people are not doing it.
Yeah, they're jeopardizing their credibility in the process. And for
what credibility?
The
media, you mean?
Well, both the media and the government, they're undermining their own credibility. So when something does happen, nobody's going to listen, and they're
but if all
the government decried vape.
Yeah. Well, right, but if all they're doing is consuming the mainstream media on this, then to them, this is a crisis. I mean, there's a big photo here. I'm looking at the CBS News article. I'm going to put news in quotes. CBS News article on Walmart now saying they're going to stop selling e-cigarettes. There's a link to another story here claiming U.S. vaping-related deaths. Again, what does that mean? Now at 8. So, my God, that's an entire 33% increase in just the last week.
Now,
that sounds really bad, right? I'm sorry, what?
Prediction on Walmart, they're not going to stick with that. They're going to stick with it until such time as a licensing regime has been created
and then they'll bring it back.
Somebody has passed that, and then they'll bring back only people that pass that licensing regime.
Yeah, right.
Now, the licensing regime is going to be designed to make sure that the 1% get all of the opportunities in this business and the 99% get none.
Yeah, I mean, this is a case of inflation. If you take a look at what Walmart's doing, is they're banning, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but they're banning tobacco e-cigarettes, right? So they're not.
What do you mean by tobacco e-cigarettes?
Is it not tobacco? Are they not selling e-cigarettes with
nicotine e-cigs?
There's no tobacco in.
I'm sorry.
Actually, the nicotine they put in there is extracted from tobacco leaves, so technically it is part of tobacco. They just take out most of the tobacco and leave the active ingredient.
I mean, the thing I want to point out is that they're not selling THC products.
That's correct. And the deaths are purportedly from the THC.
Right.
And the places and the deaths
black
are
market
all
THC,
from black market THC, not from the legal market. There's no reason to. There's only one person who has a reason to put one industry that has a reason to put vitamin E acetate into vapes, and that industry is big tobacco, because that kind of a false flag could bring about exactly the regulation they want.
That's an interesting conspiracy theory.
I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm just saying that when you see a crime, and this is a crime because there's no reason to put that stuff in there, you're poisoning people. And when you see a crime, the first thing you ask yourself is, who benefits? Who's the insurance policy made out to? And in this case, the insurance policy is made out, pay in full, to big tobacco.
So I don't know if this is a big tobacco conspiracy so much as it is definitely there's definitely been lobbying by the tobacco industry against e-cigarettes in the past. Now, it's interesting, Juul did get
well, not just that, but they've bought Juul, or a big hunk of Juul, and they seem to be using Juul as a mouthpiece, as a Judas goat, to speak for the vape industry when they do no such thing. They're the furthest thing from a vape company. They're not committed to the industry. They haven't been in it wrong, and they haven't been in it long, and they're owned by people who benefit if the industry dies.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting set of circumstances. It seems to me that this is not something that doesn't. I mean, this kind of stuff happens, right? It doesn't even matter whether we're talking about tobacco products.
You mean people dying from using
any kind of product, right? I mean, this kind of stuff happens. They've
Look
got
at jarts.
Yeah, if you look at like spinach or something, there was that. I don't know if you guys remember, but I don't know, maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, there was this outbreak of E. coli or something,
yeah,
and a lot of people got impacted by that. I mean, the idea that products don't have defects sometimes is just untrue, and they're blowing this out as if this is some big thing when it's not. It's
well, and the defect here is as a result of the black market, which you mentioned there, Nobody. And of course, if there wasn't a black market in cannabis, then these deaths would never have happened.
If there didn't,
and the thing is,
need to be one.
We have to be clear on this. Black markets are not bad because they're exempt from explicit government regulation. The black markets are not bad because sometimes they're the only way that you can get the things that you need, especially in the face of tyrannical laws. But the danger of black markets is, by their nature, they mean that you can't have a traceable supply chain. Okay?
Yeah,
and the
true.
supply chain runs from the manufacturer all the way to the customer, through the retailer, through the wholesaler, and in a white market, you sue the entire supply chain if you wrongfully die from a product, and it's up to them to figure it out who owes you, but somebody owes you. And this can't happen in the black market because you have to, as a matter of life and death, protect the supply chain, because otherwise, I mean, people fight back against snitches.
It's a general statement that's true. Obviously, there are exceptions. Like if you know the grower of the weed, then you know the supply chain.
Right.
But
I'm talking about the general case. There are corner
Yeah.
cases and specific cases where it doesn't apply.
Toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And you can join us here on the radio. This is Free Talk Live. Your thoughts on vape bans.
Do you have a crypto wealth advisor or coach? If so, has your cryptocurrency advisor been investing in technology stocks for over 20 years? Have they left the corporate world and retired? Or are they still trying to make a weekly paycheck? Have they produced six-figure results for their customers in the past 30 days? And very importantly, are they a member of the Digital Currency Council? Seth Maniscalco is the founder of Crypto Wealth Coach and CryptoWealthCoach.com. Seth invested in his first Roth IRA at 19 years old while living abroad and has been investing in Wall Street and technology for over 20 years. With experience in all the money markets. By comparison, so many of these so-called crypto gurus have barely been alive for 20 years. Seth has not only experienced personal success from his own investments in crypto, he has also helped his clients earn 6- and 7-figure incomes, including helping investors make over $750,000 in EOS in 90 days and 1,225% in only 5.5 months with Chainlink. Seth has help for the small do-it-yourself guy on up to crypto whales. Increase your wealth. Visit CryptoWealthCoach.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com.
A report confirms that many Iraqis are still holding a petty grudge about the U.S. invasion. An advanced alien civilization discovers an uninhabitable planet, and a single woman has a Facebook profile picture with her sister. This is the Onion Week in Review. A groundbreaking study published Monday in the Journal of the American Medical Association confirmed that it is impossible to lose weight. No one has ever done it, and those who are trying should give up immediately. Researchers said that findings conclusively prove that shedding excess weight has never happened, changing your physical appearance is impossible, and that all sorts of exercise exercises, personal training regimens, and diets will never, ever work.
Well, our test results conclusively prove that if you're going to the gym to lose weight, you will fail. You could work out every day and eat nothing, and you still wouldn't lose an ounce. Skinny people will stay skinny. Overweight people will be overweight. It's just how it is.
In other news, an area man is outraged his private information is being collected by someone other than advertisers. And a crowd cheers as this 93-year-old up finally graduates from college.
This is the Onion News Network.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can bring up what you want here. Walmart's apparently going to cease selling e-cigarettes. That's the news. Of course, that leads to the larger discussion on the, frankly, BS information that the media and the government has been spreading over just the last few weeks, especially. I mean, certainly they've been fear-mongering about it over the last couple of years, but now there's been some deaths. And now it's a crisis. Even though there's more deaths in like probably 10 minutes from tobacco smoke users keeling over than there has been in 10 years of people from using vape products. And again, we've already pointed out the vape products that they're talking about are black market THC vapes. So we're not even talking about legal market products. But my God.
They're banning something completely different.
Right.
They're banning flavored vapes.
Well, apparently
and
Walmart's just going to stop.
The good news is you can buy unflavored vape juice
and add
and
flavor.
You can put your own stuff in it.
Sure,
so I'm going to figure out how to bring that to the masses if this thing goes through.
You know what would be funny is to sell your vape product if they ban it with a separate container of the
well, that's exactly
flavor.
what I have in mind.
You know,
and the nice thing about that is you can then adjust, because I've had vape juice with too much flavor, and I've had vape juice with too little. Also, the less you use, the less likely you are to do yourself harm, because those artificial flavors, which we do use in food already, by the way, are probably more dangerous than the nicotine and the glycerin.
So we're going to continue with the story out of Walmart. You can share your thoughts with us as well. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. Also, speaking of food, good nutrition is key to looking and feeling great, but eating right all the time can be a challenge. It's busy in our lives, and our schedule can get in the way. Or maybe you just don't have the desire or the time to shop and cook the right foods. Balance of Nature has a solution for you. With just 3 of the Balance of Nature fruit capsules and 3 of their vegetable capsules, you get 10 servings of fruits and vegetables, and that is a lot of nutrition. For a limited time, you can get free shipping plus a free set of fruits and veggies. Just go to balanceofnature.com. You can use discount code FTL. That's balanceofnature.com. Discount code FTL, like Free Talk Live. So the story here from CBS News, Walmart has announced as of today that they will stop selling e-cigarettes in all of its stores, with the nation's largest retailer citing the growing public concerns about vaping. 8 deaths have been linked with vaping-related illnesses, and another 530 people have been sickened, whatever that means. I'll tell you what, if you draw on too much nicotine, and let's say you're, not a heavy smoker or something like that, and you take a long hit off of one of these nicotine salts vapes, you might feel a little sickened because nicotine is a drug, and it could cause a little bit of nausea if you stand up too fast.
I have to say, this isn't vaping, but when I eat a little bit too much, I sometimes feel sick afterward as well.
We should go to the CDC and report this dangerous food that you're talking about. It could hurt someone.
Everything
I've heard you
when I
can
eat too
choke
much.
I've heard you can choke on it.
I get sick.
So, quote, given the growing federal, state, and local regulatory complexity and uncertainty regarding e-cigarettes, we plan to discontinue the sale of electronic nicotine delivery products at all Walmarts and Sam's Club locations, according to Walmart in their statement. And I think, nobody, you're onto something when you predicted earlier. You can almost read it between the lines in that statement saying, oh, the regulations are complex and growing, and it's uncertain. It's an uncertain legal field here. We don't really feel comfortable.
They're afraid of liability, and probably rightfully so, because it's clear that there's a witch hunt being cooked up here by the powers that be.
Well, and to Walmart, getting rid of vapes is not a big deal. It's not going to be a big dent to their gross every single year to drop this particular category.
No, and to some extent, it's nice economically, in that just like we're going to be going to local ammo stores, we're going to be going to local vape shops.
Right.
And good for us on that. And
3 of which in Keene, New Hampshire take cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I was about to say, and hopefully let's find a vape shop that takes crypto no matter where we are. Of course, we're in Keene, New Hampshire, so that's easy to do.
That's all of them, probably.
No, there's one that doesn't.
Oh, is there another? How many vape shops do we have in Keene?
I used to go to that one. I don't go there anymore.
So the company says it will exit the market like they did with guns after selling their remaining inventory. So they're not that concerned. This isn't really a big concern. Like, they're not going to need to pull the products tomorrow and RMA or send them back or whatever to the manufacturer. They're going to go ahead and sell out their stock, and then they'll stop.
Yeah.
However long that takes. I mean, I don't know what kind of stock they carry.
Well, hopefully they'll put that stuff on sale so I can stock up.
They did put the ammunition on sale,
Did they really?
from the guns. Yeah, Matt, my roommate ran out that night. The night he heard that they were going to stop selling the ammo and guns at Walmart.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic. They're making it easier to get. So, when you lower the price of a thing, more of it sells. So they increase their ammunition sales by choosing not to sell ammunition anymore, and now they're bringing the local economy back
Not only
to life.
is it ironic, but it's against their
Don't you
own
think?
financial interests. If I were to discontinue a product out of pressure from the left or whatever, or whoever it is that's pushing this discontinuation, I would make sure I have a large order of that stock placed prior to making that statement, so that I could sell that product for as long as possible.
It would be nice to find out if they made a major ammunition purchase before making that announcement.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess they could have done that too. Made a major purchase and then discounted it to sell. To at least make something off
free
it.
press.
But blowout sale. We're not doing this anymore.
I'm just thinking I just want to continue to sell it at the price that I was selling it at, because ultimately
it'll all sell eventually.
Yeah, eventually it's going to all sell out. And if I have a couple years worth of stock, I mean, great. You can still go to Walmart and pick up the product, and I can still make money off it.
And a couple years from now, there may be some sort of regulatory scheme put in place, because remember, there was news when the news was hitting in recent weeks about the government gang plotting to remove the flavors from sale. Right. There was some discussion about, well, if the companies will apply to the FDA's new process, which they don't have yet, but once they get it, for licensure, then we'll go ahead. It'll be fine. You can have your products back out on the shelves. There was some suggestion that there may be a path back through the legal system.
I don't think there's a path back for ammunition for them.
We're talking about flavors,
people deny it. But for the flavors, they will.
That was somewhat voluntary shutdown.
The ammo hasn't been banned.
Yeah, the ammo is not banned from all stores. It's just it's discontinued from Walmart because Walmart has fallen to peer pressure.
They sure have. Well, no, actually, there was another story. I don't think we covered, or at least, when I was on the show, we didn't cover it. But some of the gun rights groups, as I thought might happen, they actually went in, they challenged the open carry policies at a bunch of Walmarts just to see what would happen. Because remember the way that Walmart... Well, remember the way Walmart worded their supposed ban was that they were requesting that their customers not open carry guns into the store.
That's funny.
And
like requesting they cover their mouths when they cough.
Sure, or requesting a variety of things. If you're requesting something, it's not an order, it's not a rule. It's
good manners.
It's just a request. Sir, could you please not open carry? Well, what if you say no? And so if you want to find out what happened, we can do that coming up here in a moment. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Plus your comments on the Walmart apparent ban on e-cigarettes once they sell down the inventory. 855-450-FREE is our toll-free number. You can join us here on the radio. This is Free Talk Live.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
Are you locked into a crappy schedule where you're forced to report to work or even to a relationship where you're not allowed to do the things you want to do? That sucks. Wouldn't you prefer to live a more free life? There's another way to live. I'm Caleb Jones, and my staff and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income, location-independent businesses and how to date women under your terms. Go to freelifeinfo.com to download 7 free books and podcasts so you can live a life like this too.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your get intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com. Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless free market non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Excuse me, is this where I get a license to start a new business?
I wouldn't be hasty. You have to get a license to go out of business, too, you know.
Oh, well, look, I've invented this little anti-gravity machine, see?
Oh, is that why you're walking 2 inches above the floor?
Oh, yes, it's very comfortable. It saves on shoe leather.
Yeah, well, you have to fill out these forms and report to the Human Services Department of Manpower Orientation and register with the Fair Employment Practice Commission, the Wage and Hour Division of the Employment Standards Administration, the State Sales and Income Tax Division, the Internal Revenue Service, and the Social Security Administration of the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare, and, of course, OSHA.
OSHA? I thought that was a little town in Wisconsin.
You'll find out. Say, floating around like that could be dangerous. Have you checked with the Consumer Product Safety Commission?
Well, not yet.
Come to think of it, you actually are flying, aren't you? Look, you need to go over to the Federal Aviation Administration and the Transportation...
It's very hard to get anything done these days if you're in business, but free enterprise built this country. Think what could happen if we don't keep it free. A public service of this station and the Center for the Defense of Free Enterprise, Bellevue, Washington.
Besides, we just can't have people floating about unregulated, you know.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything that you want. Just dial toll-free here. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. This afternoon, we're getting to know some of the newer neighbors here in the neighborhood, and one of them, a younger gentleman, I asked him if he was into cryptocurrency, and he says he didn't have any. But he knows what it is. He just doesn't have it. I said, well, you know what? I can give you some of it if you'd like. And I recommended he downloaded the Edge wallet, and he did that, and within moments he had received some cryptocurrency from me for the effort, and it was cool, man, because it's super easy to use Edge wallet. It's a great wallet that uses a username and password for your backup rather than a confusing 12 or 18 or 24 word phrase. It's really, there's no better wallet to give to a newer user, but even for a power user, somebody that's been using cryptocurrency for a long time, like Nobody and myself, we are Edge wallet users, and I use Edge wallet more than any other, and that's not because they're a sponsor. I was doing that long before they became a sponsor here on Free Talk Live. Go and see it for yourself. Download it for iOS or Android devices at your favorite app store, or you can just go to their website, edge.app. That's edge.app for Edge Wallet, supporting a bunch of different cryptos these days, like Bitcoin, BTC, Bitcoin Cash, Monero, Ripple, Stellar. They've even got Bitcoin SV in there as well. Edge.app. You can secure your freedom with Edge Wallet. As we continue here, we'll take your calls and thoughts. But coming up, Chris, you had asked what happened when these gun rights advocates open carried into Walmart after Walmart changed their policies, supposedly, about open carry. So we'll tell you that because there's a couple different stories that range from pretty ridiculous and extreme all the way to nothing happened. So we'll share that with you coming up here. But
different people open carrying at Walmart?
Correct, yeah, different people. So let's go to Paul. He is listening online. Paul, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yes.
Hi.
These people are talking about how we have to do something to stop the global climate emergency.
Oh, yeah, I heard there's going to be some protests in the next month or so about that.
Quick,
yes,
somebody
I went
panic.
to one of them today, and there was nothing said. Absolutely nothing was, no solution was offered.
What was the one that you went to? What was the name of it? Do you remember?
It was something in San Francisco.
Of course
and,
it was.
There were maybe 3,000 or 4,000 people there, and they were talking about planting trees, which is nice.
That's a good idea, sure.
But nobody,
I like trees.
Nobody said what you have to do actually is you have to build fourplex houses with 100 solar panels and thousands of them, 1 million of them.
Hold on, this is your proposal? I just want to be clear. This is what your idea is?
My proposal. This is my proposal.
You want to build fourplex, okay, so quadruplex houses. Okay, what do you do? Put solar panels
with 100 solar panels on each one.
Uh-huh.
This will pay about half the mortgage, so it lowers the cost of housing. This creates jobs, obviously, for carpenters and contractors.
Okay.
This also then generates more housing. California is right now passing such a law to allow you to build a fourplex house on a single-family lot footprint, and that way quadruple the amount of housing.
No, let me just clarify something here. Are you saying that everyone should live in these houses?
No. This is for people that want to be pioneers. They want to be solar pioneers.
Gotcha.
Now, this will not only create jobs, it'll create a decentralized solar economy that'll put the energy generation, it'll take it away from big oil and put it in the hands of the working class. Because working class people who own these fourplex houses.
Well, one thing's for sure, the solar panels have been getting cheaper over time, and they've been getting more efficient from what I understand. So it may be becoming more sensible for people to look into solar. So, yeah, as long as your solution's voluntary, I don't have a problem with it. Cool, man.
I like the idea of solar. It just doesn't seem to work that well, at least up in the Northeast where we got trees and things, and those trees in the summer can keep your house cool.
No.
So it actually reduces the amount of air conditioning.
Chainsaws get rid of trees.
You're saying cut down trees?
Cut down the trees that protect my house, that keep the amount of air conditioning I need to use lower?
Oh, wow. See,
sounds like an environmental catastrophe just waiting to happen.
Right. Some environmentalists wouldn't like to hear the idea of cutting down trees, Paul.
I know. Those are my friends, but they don't like to hear it. But actually, my proposal is not new. This proposal passed the German legislature in 1990.
Okay.
And so consequently, Germany has now shut down.
Of course, a lot of bad things have passed the German legislature.
And
I'm not saying this is
now
one
the
of them.
greenest nation on earth. Germany is now the greenest nation on earth.
You know, I feel like there was.
Are you aware
I
of
don't
that?
recall about the details of that, but I do remember that there was something negative or bad about the whole German situation with the solar.
It sounds like
panels.
he's turning his radio up, so I'm just going to go ahead and put him on hold because that makes things very confusing. In fact, thank you for the call, Paul. I appreciate hearing from you. Sorry, you were trying to say something there, and then the radio just started blasting it.
There was something. I wish I could remember what it was, and maybe you guys remember. But there was something about the whole German solar panel situation that wasn't good. It was.
If it was government related, they probably forced it on people. Would be my guess, but I don't know. I'm speculating.
They did. It was something along those lines with subsidies and things of that nature. But they.
And the government here, the goons, they're offering subsidies for various different
a lot of
so-called
places
green,
are. A lot of states
things.
are, or they were.
Which is unfortunate because basically it creates this sort of who decides problem where, we in the government gang say that this particular form of green energy is best, so we're going to put a bunch of your money behind it. Whereas if it were the marketplace actually deciding those things, we'd actually find out what people valued.
Well, the marketplace is going to look for the solution where they get the most energy out and the most revenue for the least cause, so consuming the least resources. The government doesn't care about that. The government wants to solve the problem by redirecting as many resources as possible to their friends and cronies.
That's right.
And they gain no advantage if the solution is effective. Quite the opposite. If people stop panicking, they're going to lose their budget.
Let's continue. We got another person calling from San Francisco tonight. David is in San Francisco. You're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, howdy. I was actually more interested in the Lewandowski hearing, but just thinking about the Lewandowski. He was campaign manager. You remember Paul Manafort was Donald Trump's first campaign manager.
I don't remember anything about that. I pay no attention to what these politicians and their cronies, for the most part, are doing because they're all a bunch
sometimes they're hilarious.
Thugs. You pay attention to Donald Trump because he tends to be hilarious, but most politicians are not very funny. They're not particularly entertaining.
Disturbing.
They're only hilarious when they're not trying to be.
Yeah, in a sad way. Yeah, absolutely. All politicians are dangerous. These are men and women who want. Yeah, pretty much, except for Ron Paul.
Not all of them.
Nobody's dangerous.
So, do you love Trump?
What?
Okay, so you're sure defending him, but you're not loving him.
Oh God!
Why
no.
would I love Trump?
None of us like Trump here.
I love the entertainment value. I'll say that, but that's about it. I mean, it's something to laugh at.
Okay. Well, I was going to mix two different stories here, but Lewandowski, Paul Manafort's the guy sitting in prison now because he was the guy that was running the coup in the Ukraine, and they were blaming it on Hillary. And even to this day, they blame Hillary for her handling of the Ukraine coup, but that coup was being run by Manafort.
Okay.
And Manafort
well, I can blame
Trump's
Hillary for all
first-
kinds of things, whether or not she was involved in that. I mean,
See, to
murder.
me, the Republican and Democratic parties are just two heads of the same snake.
This guy's a partisan.
Well,
He's somebody who's
organized crime is
calling
organized
constantly
crime.
against one side, but loves the other side. Go ahead.
Well, the third side is the Green Party, and that's what I am.
Oh,
That's
really?
the fourth
And so-
side. Third side is libertarian.
Okay, well, good for you. I'm glad to hear that you're thinking outside of the box.
Indeed. Thank you for that.
Okay, but the point is that Paul Manafort helped run a coup. He got paid, some say, as high as $61 million, and he didn't report his taxes.
Good man.
On running a coup.
Congratulations.
On running a coup for, was it for Moscow?
Is there a
Was it
coup
for the
tax?
Is
Do
there
you
a
have
form
to
for
pay
that?
a special, if you overthrow a foreign government, is there like an excise tax on that? Is it
And
considered
that's despite
a
the fact that
luxury?
it's illegal, right?
Yeah.
Like they tax stuff that's illegal. I always find that hilarious.
There is a line for that. On the tax.
So when you go into that, and then you realize that this was Donald Trump's first campaign manager, and Lewandowski the other day was also being grilled by the Judiciary Committee, and that guy was not an employee of the U.S. government, yet he was hired to fire the Attorney General.
Well, the United
Okay.
States government
So?
is a corrupt organization that specializes in murder, so I don't expect anything different from it.
Absolutely. Thank you for the call tonight, David. Guess what? There's a bunch of scandals and corruption no matter who's in charge of the federal government. The toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE like freedom, which is one reason why we don't need them. It's Free Talk Live.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, this may be the last time you ever have to worry about hair loss. Because Bosley is the real deal. They're giving women and men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started is a single text message. You'll get an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card when you text Titan11 to 85850. Bosley will show you, for free, how great your hair could look. You'll also see, for free, why you're losing hair and how to get it back. Women and men all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert. Ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part? Bosley has permanent solutions to hair loss. You'll love what they'll do for your hair. So drop what you're doing long enough to send a text. Get your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting Titan11 to 85850. Don't forget, that's TITAN 11 to 85850.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You are invited to join us here whether you want to talk about open carry in Walmart or vapes in Walmart. We're covering, once again, the nation's #1 retailer and policy changes that they've made because, well, they're the #1 retailer. And as goes Walmart, so goes many other retailers. We saw a lot of others follow in their footsteps after they announced that they were going to be requesting that their customers no longer open carry. And well, what has that actually resulted in, on the ground, in the stores, on the sales floor? What actually happens when somebody walks in open carrying a gun? And that's what we are going to get a little deeper into here. Of course, your calls and thoughts are welcome. You can dial in toll-free at 855-450-FREE. Then coming up, the Instagram gun range photo ban that Chris is going to be telling us about. And I want to say thank you to MI Free to Go. This is Free Talk Live Silver Amplifier. That's their name. And this person is amping Free Talk Live. AMP stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. And the idea is to help us get on more radio stations. We're on over 200 stations in the United States and beyond today. And you can help us with that. Well, they're not all on today, but it's over an entire week. We'll be on more than 200 stations. But if you want to help us get on 300 or more, you can do that by becoming an amplifier. And you can use Bitcoin BTC, you can use PayPal, you can use credit cards to do that, and it helps us out. You get some cool perks like access to the supporters chat rooms on our Discord forum or our Discord server, and also some other cool perks like for those of you still on Facebook, there is an AMP-only Facebook group there too. So go and learn more about the AMP program, and please get signed up. It makes a big difference when you do that at amp.freetalklive.com. That's amp.freetalklive.com. With you tonight, you've got Ian.
The nobody formerly known as Rich Paul.
And Chris.
And so here's the story. Since, Chris, you had asked, I said that I'd seen some news about activists going into Walmart after they made this policy change of requesting that their customers no longer open carry. Because I'd said on the air, that's just a request. I'd be curious to know what they would say to me if I open carry. And look, I want to be clear. I generally don't think that it's a good idea to protest on other people's property, right? Like I'm okay with protests on public property. It's it's the commons, tragedy of the commons. We have a right to protest there. You don't have a right to protest on somebody's property. But this isn't a rule. This is a request. And that's different than saying, no shoes, no shirt, no service. It's different than saying you have to do X, Y, or Z in order to come into this property. In like a nightclub, you got to be over 21. In certain places, there's different rules. This isn't a rule.
What would the sign look like? Like, if you have a grenade or an AR-15, no service.
Yeah, I have to wonder, is there any signs been posted in Walmart? Like, would somebody even know that they're even being requested not to open carry?
That's a good question.
Let alone, a ban?
It's
only been... That would be required for a criminal prosecution in most states.
Well, you wouldn't be getting a criminal prosecution for breaking a corporate rule.
That would be a no trespass
first. In some
first.
states, it is a crime to carry a gun onto a property where the owner has has either posted a sign. I think South Carolina is like that. Maybe somebody in SC can correct me.
So sorry to any blind person that walks into that business.
Yikes.
Well, that's true of a lot of things.
Yeah.
Although the first thing that occurs to me is parking signs, and I don't encourage the blind to drive.
The story here is from BusinessInsider.com. Thousands of people have been able to openly bring their guns into Walmart, even though the retailer is now asking people to stop open carrying in its stores, according to a gun advocacy group in Texas. Walmart announced their changes to their gun carrying policies this month after two deadly shootings in Walmart stores in Texas and Mississippi left 24 people dead. So when we did talk about this originally, Chris, they had said that signage was likely going to be coming, but it's only been a couple, 2-3 weeks at this point, so it probably isn't there, would be my guess, but I haven't been into a Walmart in a few weeks, so I don't know.
It seems like if they're going to post signs, it would not be a request anymore. It would be like, but if they posted a sign that says, we request...
Well, you can really post a sign that says request.
Sure,
I see it from time to time.
I totally agree that you can do it, but it just seems like such a weird response, Well,
we'll see what they end up doing. Doug McMillan...
They should just put up a sign that says, we request you not shoot anybody if you happen to be armed, or kill them with your bare hands if you're
that's
not.
A much better request, right?
You'd think that's common sense. I don't know if you'd have to. Doug McMillan is Walmart's CEO. He said in a memo to employees the company was, quote, respectfully requesting, unquote, that customers stop openly carrying firearms into their stores. But he didn't say that doing so would be banned outright. And a spokesperson then told Business Insider that store managers will be able to decide how to handle situations, and that those openly carrying may not always be asked to leave. Gun rights activists are now testing if the policy is able to be enforced, accusing Walmart of trying to appease people who want greater gun control measures while not making any real changes to what customers can do. David Ahmad, the vice president of Open Carry Texas, told the New York Times that many of his group's 38,000 members have already open carried their guns into Walmart stores as a result of the rule change, and none were asked to leave. So he doesn't say how many of his members, but he says many of them. He told the Times that, quote, they're ducking the issue. They're trying to get the gun haters to leave them alone while at the same time leave us alone while we carry in their stores, unquote. Walmart's spokesman Lorenzo Lopez told the Times that he was not aware of more customers openly carrying guns in the company's stores since the policy was announced. Well, it wouldn't necessarily be more customers. These are probably the same customers who have open carried into Walmarts in the past who just simply continued to do what they normally do while shopping at Walmart. I have open carried into Walmart in the past. I have not gone to Walmart since this rule change has happened, but at some point I probably will, and honestly, I'm considering doing it as well. He says employees should call the police if either they or a customer feels unsafe. Walmart also.
Wow, then I'm going to feel safe. Who am I going to call?
This is just asking for trouble. I mean, seriously.
Who's asking for trouble, Walmart or the gun carriers?
Anybody calling the police is asking for trouble.
Sure.
Yeah, right. Well, that's certainly one of them. But I think even Walmart, like, you know, if somebody is calling because what they're suggesting to their employees is that if you feel unsafe, if you're like a lefty or whatever, you know, basically you're telling them to call the police, even though there's no real threat or danger. So it's kind of it's asking for a problem to be created that doesn't otherwise exist, as opposed to if you didn't say that.
It's safer than some of the things I've heard from idiot leftists. Have you seen the post where it's like, if I saw somebody open carrying, I'd take that gun away from him?
Whoa.
And I'm just thinking, oh my God, that's
plan.
such a wonderful way to get shot in the face. Because if somebody tries to take my weapon, my assumption is they mean
they're
me
trying
harm.
to hurt you. Yeah, right. Exactly. Though, again, they also mentioned Walmart was going to end the sale of certain forms of ammunition and will be stopping the sale of certain types of rifles. Quote, we know these decisions will inconvenience some of our customers, and we hope they'll understand, said the CEO. As a company, we experienced 2 horrific events in 1 week, and we will never be the same. And he's referring to the shootings and the banning of the guns in that case. So they end up, let's see, the policy was an about-face for the company, and going on, they talk about other retailers announcing recently they would also ask customers to not openly carry in stores. Aldi, the grocery store, one of which we actually have here in Keene, said they will ask customers to not carry weapons in their stores, citing, quote, the safety of our employees, customers, and the community. Their statement further said, alongside many other businesses, we are asking, that our customers refrain from openly displaying firearms in any of our stores, except for authorized law enforcement personnel.
Boo!
Yeah.
Well, this is a carbon copy of basically what Walmart's press release was. So Aldi is saying essentially the exact same thing. It's okay. Law enforcement's fine. You guys are okay.
Well, I think they've formed some kind of an association to
really?
standardize this response.
The language?
Yeah.
Well, and don't forget, you're much more likely to die by the bullet of a police officer than by the bullet of some mad shooter.
Yeah. Cops kill 1,000 a year. Mass shooters, 200 on average?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's that.
You were going to say something?
Yeah, I mean, when you go and you make an announcement like this, they have to be. I can't imagine that they don't realize that they're going to be off-putting of certain customers.
Oh, of course they know they are.
Well, they know they're going to be off-putting no matter what they do to some people. So it looks like what they're trying to do is minimal offense to both sides. Which is, normal. That's what corporations normally do because corporations can't care.
Meijer, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, a chain in the Midwest. Myers?
Yep, that's where I grew up shopping in Ann Arbor.
There's not an S on that word. Okay.
But we all called it Myers.
855-450 free. So Meijer has also joined in saying, quote, the safety of our customers and team members is our top priority. So we respectfully request that our customers do not open carry firearms at Meijer's. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. So the gun rights group in this case is saying none of their members have been told to leave a Walmart, but there was apparently one guy, and we'll tell you about him coming up.
There's always one guy.
Warning, this is a privacy alert. You are being spied on right now, as I speak, by your phone. If you want this to stop, visit GoDarkBags.com and we'll show you how elite military units protect themselves and how you can too. Go Dark Bags are lab tested and guaranteed for life. Visit GoDarkBags.com now and enter discount code FTL to save 15%. That's GoDarkBags.com. Discount code FTL. Your privacy depends on it. End transmission. Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,498, silver at $17.79, and Bitcoin is trading at $10,265. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, a U.S. drone attack killed 30 pine nut farmers and wounded at least 40 others in Afghanistan Wednesday night. The latest killing of innocent civilians by American forces as the War on Terror enters its 19th year. The Mind Unleashed reports the farmers had just finished work and were sitting by a fire when the strike happened. That's according to a tribal elder. Reuters reported there may be more farmers missing. As Hyder Khan, who owns the pine nut fields, said about 150 workers were there for harvesting, with some still missing, as well as the confirmed dead and injured. A survivor of the drone strike said about 200 laborers were sleeping in 5 tents pitched near the farm when the attack happened. In a statement, Colonel Sonny Leggett, the spokesman for the U.S. campaign in Afghanistan, said the attack was aimed at Daesh terrorists in Nangarhar province. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. Environmentalists on Wednesday celebrated after a federal court temporarily blocked enforcement of a recently enacted South Dakota law that aims to hit pipeline protesters with fines and up to 25 years in prison. Legal experts and green groups have decried the law, officially titled the Riot Boosting Act, as a flagrant violation of the First Amendment of the Constitution that was obviously targeted at Keystone XL opponents, according to a report from Activist Post. South Dakota is one of several Republican-controlled states to pass legislation in recent months to criminalize pipeline protests. In June, Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed into law a measure that would hit pipeline protesters with up to a decade in prison. Common Dreams in June reported the Trump administration is also looking to punish anti-pipeline demonstrators at the federal level. In his ruling on Wednesday, U.S. District Judge Lawrence Pearsall wrote, quote, "Imagine if these riot-boosting statutes were applied to the protests that took place in Birmingham, Alabama. What might be the result?" End quote. The parents of a 4-year-old Florida boy had their child taken away last month because they sought to treat his cancer in a holistic manner. A judge ruled the couple had placed their son in harm's way after seizing chemotherapy treatments for his leukemia. Taylor Bland Ball and Joshua McAdams had their parental rights taken away from them following the couple's decision to seek a second opinion out of state. That decision led to the parents giving their son CBD and THC oil, along with traditional chemotherapy treatments. NBC News reports that a Hillsborough County judge ordered that 3-year-old Noah McAdams continue to receive chemotherapy treatment at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital within the next 28 days. Bland Ball responded to the judge's decision outside the Florida courtroom. She said, quote, "We're disappointed with the fact that they are moving forward with chemotherapy, considering all the side effects that were brought up in court today, including death." End quote. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Well, our own Rebecca Mera takes us on a tour of the Olympic Village.
We have a full-size bed, lounge area, shower, plenty of space, which is great because I'm constantly having sex in there.
The Village is a temporary home to the world's most physically impressive, athletic men and women. It was important to the Olympic Committee to give them a comfortable, state-of-the-art area to each other's brains out while they're not competing.
We have a pool where they can have a sex, a theater where they can have a sex. All these athletes are hot, horny, ready to go. They deserve the best.
I was in Vancouver where I got eaten out by this French speed skater. I have to say, these facilities are even better, and I'm going to try to a Japanese guy.
You've spared no expense.
These athletes deserve the best. They sacrifice so much for their countries. They deserve to be able to until their and can't take it anymore.
And these facilities won't go to waste. Once the Olympics are over, they'll be converted to a resort where Russian businessmen can come to their prostitutes.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. We're launching into the second hour of the program. The toll-free number, 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. One gun rights group has said that their members have not had any issue. They've got 38,000 members. No, we don't know how many of them have attempted to test the Walmart policy.
It would be hilarious if they all tried it at the same time.
Requesting that their customers not
that
carry.
Might be a reason to call the police. To be fear for your life.
I'd feel safe as hell if I was surrounded by 38,000 legal open carriers. Even if one of them's crazy and opens fire, the rest of them are going to have him gone before I have to worry about it.
I'd be afraid, not because so much because of the guns, just because there's a bunch of people that are angry with me, at Walmart as an employee working for Walmart.
When you're open carrying, though, you can't walk around looking angry.
No,
you
bad
can't
idea.
shout at people. You can't raise your voice at people. You have to be a good ambassador.
Absolutely.
And I hope that these guys are being good ambassadors, because you can't.
Presumably that's why they weren't kicked out of the stores. If they were going into the stores and raising a ruckus.
That's true. If they were making problems, and especially if they were scaring anybody, I'm sure they would be asked to leave.
And this is the group is called Open Carry Texas, so their members presumably are probably mostly in Texas. So the 38,000, they're not all going to one store, but many of them are probably going to multiple Texas Walmarts. They're saying they've had no issues. They haven't even been spoken with by management at these Walmarts.
I mean, this is Texas, too. I bet you it would be different if it was a different state.
Good point, because as Walmart has said, Walmart has claimed that it's going to be up to their store managers to make the decision. So somebody managing a store in Texas may be a little more gun-friendly than someone managing a store in, say, Chicago or New York City. Or I know they don't actually have Walmarts in any of these cities, but states like that, Illinois or New Jersey, for instance, where there's not a real friendly attitude towards guns. And but then again, we go to a story in Virginia. So on one hand, you've got this claim from the gun rights group in Texas that none of their members have had any issue. In Virginia, according to ammoland.com, which is a shooting sports news website, this was posted 10 days ago. Virginia Citizens Defense League has been made aware of an incident at a Walmart in Kentucky where someone open carrying a handgun has been approached by police and then was asked to sign a trespass document saying he acknowledges being banned from Walmart property anywhere in the United States indefinitely.
What?
This contradicts the official policy as laid out by Walmart's CEO. Quote, let's see. Oh, excuse me. This is the author of this article writing in the first person. I have also heard from a third party that Walmart is going to post their stores no open carry. However, I'm not taking that as gospel until someone actually sees such a sign. So again, we've still yet to actually see any signage going up. In the meantime, I recommend you do not open carry in Walmart for at least a week until we see if such a sign materializes, blah, blah, blah. Concealed carry remains a safe option, and Walmart's policy specifically allows for such. And then it just goes on to generally comment. But apparently there is video of this man in Walmart ostensibly receiving a no trespass notice from the police. There's not a lot of detail in this particular case, although there is video, and to be fair, I have not watched the video. So we don't know if this man was doing something besides simply open carrying, but it does appear that he has in this video a shopping cart with him with a few items in it. So by all appearances, he was just shopping.
It kind of makes me wonder about the whole no trespass thing. I mean, that's a legal thing within a state. Would that even be applicable in another state?
Well, it would technically apply in New Hampshire, and here's why. The text of the New Hampshire trespassing statute says you're guilty of trespassing if, knowing that you are not legally allowed to be in a place, you go or stay in that place. So basically, if somebody asks you to leave and you don't leave, then and you don't have a legal right to be there, like you're the owner.
But again, you weren't asked in New Hampshire. You were asked in some other state. But
you were told you can't go into any of their stores.
One Walmart may not be the same as another Walmart.
They're all corporate owned.
But what
if you don't know that, though.
What they said is nationwide.
They're telling you.
It's black letter.
It's in the notice. You're not allowed to go into any of their stores.
Nationwide.
Okay.
Right. Or probably globally would be my guess.
Yeah, I would say that too.
It still begs the question though, unless you are informed in some way in which you would then know for sure, because
this is not the first time Walmart has banned people from their store, though. They know what the legality is.
My objection here is just because somebody tells you something doesn't mean it's true, right? So,
but in the case
comes
of
from
this,
the police,
it is true
it's a trespass
if you believe
notice.
it.
That's garbage. I mean, I don't disagree with the trespass notice in that state, but it's garbage to say that the police always tell the truth. So it doesn't mean that even if it comes from the police, I still don't necessarily know that it's the truth.
Well, the owner of the property always tells the truth about whether or not you're allowed to be there, because the owner of the property, by saying you're not allowed to be there, makes it true.
If what you're saying is that
It's
because the police,
authority, not correctness.
I understand what you're saying here, Chris. Let me see if I've got you straight here. You're saying because the notice is coming from the police, you don't trust that the police are honestly representing the wishes of the property owner.
In New Hampshire, the notice does not have to come from police.
But I just want to be clear.
So, I'm assuming that the notice is coming from the police, but I don't necessarily know.
The police officer is giving the notice.
Right. But I don't necessarily know. So that's a legal order in that state, which would be applicable to that state. I don't necessarily know, for example, in the case of New Hampshire, that just because a notice was given to me by a cop in another state, that I wouldn't assume that would be applicable to, another state, right?
Okay. Let me explain how the law works in New Hampshire, because I happen to know it pretty well. Here's the case that a trespassing case that I beat. I got arrested at the Cheshire County Jail for trespassing.
So did
and I was later acquitted of the charge under which I was arrested.
I was found guilty
because I never heard the order to leave and could show that convincingly, and they did not believe Ian when he said he did not hear the order to leave. So in their theory, he knew I didn't.
Right.
Now, my attorney told me they also gave me a year-long trespass order from the jail. Later, I get a call from a friend who wants me to bail her out from jail. So I go up to the jail, but on my way to the jail, I called my attorney and said, "Hey, is this trespass order valid that they gave me?" And he said, "No, I don't think so. I think it violates the First Amendment." Mm-hmm. And I said, "Great, because I'm going to the jail." And as a result of that, I wasn't breaking the trespassing law.
Because you didn't believe.
Because I did not know that I had no legal right to be there. I believed I did.
Right.
And
so
unfortunately, my attorney wasn't available to testify for me.
But that has to do with the public property, not private property, which is what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, but this is...
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's no grounds under which a trespass order from the property owner can be rendered invalid.
Well,
But if the police told you you're not allowed to be there, and the property owner then told you, "I didn't tell him to say that,"
right,
then you would not be guilty of trespassing in New Hampshire because you believe you have a legal right to be there, regardless of who told you didn't.
This is kind of the point that I'm trying to make. Is I wouldn't necessarily jump to the conclusion that just because a manager or a police officer in another state gave me a trespass order that it would be applicable in another state, or that they even have the authority to tell me that.
Well, that's a good
now,
point.
Now, by the same token as mine, if your lawyer told you that doesn't mean anything in New Hampshire, even if he's wrong, you don't have the knowingly mental state.
And that's exactly the point that I'm making, right?
But you have to have reason to believe that the thing's invalid. You can't just not want it to be. A trespass order is like, in New Hampshire at least, is like Tinkerbell. It only exists if you believe in it.
I think your best argument here is that if it's issued by a store manager, you could say, well, I didn't believe that applied outside of that store because that manager isn't the district manager and that manager isn't the regional manager.
Right, and this is exactly the point that I'm making.
If it was signed by a local manager, you could easily say that person doesn't have the authority to ban me from a New Hampshire store. And you'd probably be right.
855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can join us here regarding open carry in Walmart or whatever is on your mind. You can take control of the airwaves here on Free Talk Live. 855-450-FREE. Or jump into our Discord chat at discord.lrn.fm. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Do you have a crypto wealth advisor or coach? If so, has your cryptocurrency advisor been investing in technology stocks for over 20 years? Have they left the corporate world and retired? Or are they still trying to make a weekly paycheck? Have they produced six-figure results for their customers in the past 30 days? And very importantly, are they a member of the Digital Currency Council? Seth Maniscalco is the founder of Crypto Wealth Coach and CryptoWealthCoach.com. Seth invested in his first Roth IRA at 19 years old while living abroad and has been investing in Wall Street and technology for over 20 years with experience in all the money markets. By comparison, so many of these so-called crypto gurus have barely been alive for 20 years. Seth has not only experienced personal success from his own investments in crypto, he has also helped his clients earn 6- and 7-figure incomes, including helping investors make over $750,000 in EOS in 90 days and 1,225% in only 5.5 months with Chainlink. Seth has help for the small do-it-yourself guy on up to crypto whales. Increase your wealth. Visit CryptoWealthCoach.com.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You dial in, toll free, take control of the airwaves. Here are numbers 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got the Discord call-in line rooms. Discord.lrn.fm is where you can join those. In fact, 3 of them are occupied. We're going to get to your calls and thoughts here in a moment. I did watch a little bit of the video of the guy in the Walmart ostensibly being banned from all Walmarts everywhere for open carrying a gun. He is very calm, very nice. He even says he wants to pay for his drink that he had, he's one of those guys who grabs a drink on the way into the store and then starts drinking it while he's in the store and then pays for it on the way out. He said, look, I want to make sure I pay for my drink. The officer says, look, you're not in trouble with us. You haven't committed any crimes. They don't want you here, basically. So, Chris, you were correct. Different Walmarts may respond in different fashions to this particular open carry ban. And certainly In some states, it's not legal at all to open carry. So
right.
There's that. We're going to continue with your calls and thoughts. Plus, want to make sure you know about Liberty.menu. If you are an individual who actually cares about freedom and liberty, and you want other people to know about that, you want them to know specifically that you're in business, you've got a thing that you do where you might offer a product or service to customers. Maybe you want people who care about liberty to know that you exist. Go to Liberty.menu. You can list your business there. It's free. It's like one of those business directories. It's got a map. It's got ratings and reviews. It's also got even a social bookmarking kind of aspect to it. So you can go to Liberty.menu and get started there. It's free to use that. There is a code that you can use to get a Free Talk Live listener badge, and that is FTL, like Free Talk Live, at Liberty.menu. All right, so we go to your calls and thoughts. Bad Slave, to start things out here. You're on Free Talk Live on our Discord server. Go ahead, Bad Slave.
Thank you, Ian.
Hey.
And Chris, is it? And
nobody.
Nobody. And listen, this
You
whole
know
idea
I am.
of open carry versus concealed carry.
Uh-huh.
I know there's a lot of problems with this idea, but I wish we could take like one day out of the year, advertise the daylights out of it, and say, you know what? A bunch of us are concealed carry. And we think, it would be better if folk knew they were being protected.
Reveal the conceal, as you might say.
Right.
Here's what we used to do in Manchester, and I found it was very effective, and I think it could be improved upon to be more effective, which is when we first arrived in New Hampshire, people, included me, were hassled in Manchester by Manchester PD because they're a lot more urban. They hadn't seen open carry in decades openly in Manchester.
Yes.
And so when somebody got hassled by the police, I don't believe there were any arrests over it, but people did get hassled. When it happened, we would go out the following Saturday and we would all bring trash bags. And there would be like 50 of us. And we'd do an open carry litter pickup. Now, the thing is, when you see a group of people with holstered sidearms picking up trash, you know they're not there. You know they're not up to no good. So you feel safe approaching them. And you know that even if one of them is crazy and might shoot you, the other ones will probably gun him down because I don't think they're all crazy.
Right.
And that's kind of the point we're trying to make. So maybe we need to start, just adopt a hunk of highway and start doing open carry litter pickups, or start doing open carry litter pickups in the town hall, in the town common, like I used to do the 420 rally.
Maybe the Manchester people should do that again, because that was where the issue was had. We've never had any real issues here in Keene. The only issue was Cassidy, who walked down the street topless while open carrying, and they were more concerned with her being topless than they were concerned with her open carrying.
They arrested her for open carrying her boobs, and then they realized that since boobs weren't genitals, it wasn't illegal anyway, and they had to issue her an apology.
They actually apologized.
They apologized.
I've
never heard of that happening.
It was amazing.
That is amazing.
Bad Slave, any other thoughts? Go ahead.
Well, I wanted to say that that one of the really kind of extended, events like that was Dave Ridley himself.
Oh yeah.
And he did a Ridley-O that really kind of laid a whole bunch of stuff out. Russell Canning was there.
Yeah, that was a classic where Russell Canning was like getting in the cop's face over them harassing Ridley. Hey, thank you for the call, Bad Slave. I don't know if Bad Slave knew it, but I suspect this is Dave Ridley on the line, calling from Colorado. Hello, Dave.
Oh, that's so endearing, to be calling into talk radio and they're already talking about you.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think he knew you were on hold. I didn't mention that you were coming up, so that was totally natural.
Yeah. Well, actually, I have some more depressing types of news. I don't know if you guys have been experiencing much of this. I went and videotaped an ambush interview. I ambush interviewed a fairly high-ranking Obama official about a week ago, and put it up on the air.
Thank you for your service.
Thanks. Well, a year ago, something like that would have been at about 1,000 hits by now, probably.
Mhm.
It wasn't super dramatic, but it should be at about 1,000 hits. Today it's at 200 hits, roughly.
What?
And this is
this
a
on YouTube?
pattern that's...
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's being
yeah.
interfered
You're
with
shadow
search
banned,
results.
bro. You're shadow banned. You need to get off YouTube. You need to start getting your hits somewhere else. And I suggest that you self-host because you are a prime candidate for censorship. And the only way to guarantee that your stuff will be there when you want it is to make sure that you're self-hosting a copy and that other people can
That's
always
not even a
get to that
guarantee
copy.
because they could target your hosting. You want to go with
They can
decentralized.
target your hosting, but you can also arrange so that, for example, put it up on a torrent.
Right, you
and
wanna
encourage
decentralize it.
Encourage your followers to also host that torrent.
Well,
so
the nice
you
thing
have a
is
swarm of people delivering
Torrents
it. You
are
can't
also-
shut down a swarm.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about old tech here, nobody.
There's better solutions out there.
Torrents are old tech.
Library. I bet
Old tech is reliable.
Library is also pretty
Library
reliable
works
from what
even
I've seen as
better.
well.
Yeah, we already
there have
had
been performance issues with, and there have been availability issues with some things on interplanetary file system,
Okay,
which
that's not the same
underlies
thing,
library, which underlies library. So I wouldn't
Really?
say 100% it can't fail. I mean, it's different to say this is how it's designed to work than it can't fail. There's no piece of software on Earth that can't fail.
Well, sure.
I think what it comes down to is host your own stuff on your own server, but also post it to library because library is a means, and there's something called YouTube Sync as well that you could potentially use as well. So basically, your content, if it gets taken down on YouTube, will still be available via a library. Which is decentralized.
I am not sure that what you said is true, nobody. According to library.com, it's LBRY, by the way, LBRY.com, their frequently asked questions. How is library different from IPFS, which is Interplanetary File System, and BitTorrent? IPFS and BitTorrent are wonderful technologies from which library has drawn a lot of inspiration. However, they both suffer the same flaws. We can talk about that. So there may be...
Interesting. They may have written IPFS out. That may have been an early draft.
It was not my understanding that it was based on IPFS either.
All right, more coming up here in moments. 855, 450 free. I personally have not heard of any issues with library delivering video.
It's not perfect.
But that doesn't mean it can't happen.
That doesn't mean it can't happen. Sure, nothing's perfect. More coming up here in moments. This is Free Talk Live, but it's way more reliable than YouTube.
She's such a beautiful little puppy. I mean, we walk around the block and neighbors always say, her hair is so beautiful.
Healthy and shiny and glossy. DINOVITE.com.
Fatty acids, omega-3s, and omega-6s are great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
I would really recommend people starting their puppies on Dynavite before they get into what I would call the misery index. Bad skin, bad ears, bad breath.
Because if they're getting all their vitamins, micronutrients, microbials from the beginning, then you're not going to run into the problems associated with the allergies, grass, pollen, dust, dirt, fleas, ticks, you name it, and the itching and shedding down the road.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
Dynavite for life.
This is Ed Lukasevic.
And Cindy Lukasevic.
Inviting you and your pets to Dynavite.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
You know how annoying it is when someone keeps stopping mid-sentence as though he or she were asking you a series of questions? Avoid doing that. It sounds unnervingly tentative, and it imposes upon the listener to help you complete the thought. And if you're a job seeker, this alone could be a deal killer. An effective communicator sounds more confident. Complete the thought. Avoid making the listener impatient. With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important. Cutting through the clutter rather than blending into the blah, blah, blah will help you connect better no matter what the conversation. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook. Survivalspeech.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. You can take control of the airwaves. The toll-free number here is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms, and folks have been using them tonight, sounding good, too. Wish we could get Dave Ridley on Discord. I think it would be an amazing increase in audio quality, but that's where most of our calls actually have come in here so far tonight. We've got a couple of folks on hold over there at discord.lrn.fm, and the nice thing is, if Discord gets really popular and our rooms get filled up, I can just make a new room. And then another one if I need to. We could have 10 Discord call-in line rooms if we wanted to. We don't have that many calls to justify it, but as long as we got the bandwidth, we can have as many rooms as we need to there.
Bandwidth? Yeah. We don't need no stinking bandwidth.
Well, thankfully, we've got plenty of it here in Keene, thanks to the gigabit internet that we managed to acquire, which is very nice to have. So let's go back to Dave Ridley. He is the man behind RidleyReport.com. And Dave, you'd called in tonight. We got a little sidetracked, and I'll get back to the library IPFS differences since nobody brought up IPFS, which is interplanetary file system. Yeah. These are different distributed methods of distributing files across different computers and nodes all around the internet. But Dave, you were calling in because it sounded like one of your YouTube videos had been essentially, it had like most of its views just disappear overnight. Is that right? Oh, Dave, did I lose you?
I think they kept the views from happening in the first place. So, like I said, this is an ambush interview of.
I thought you said they had 1,000 and went down to 200. I misunderstood.
No, you said usually it gets 1,000, and this one got 200, which is generally a sign to me that you're being shadow banned and just suppressed from search results.
Could be,
which is exactly what I was talking about. Search does matter.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this, I guess about 3 weeks ago, I crashed a defense contractor meeting at a federally funded university, and was ejected from that. And that should be at 7,000 or 8,000 hits by now. It was pretty dramatic, but it's like more like 900 hits right now. So it's a pattern. It's happening to other people. We know how it happened to Alex Jones. We know what happened to the people that had their channels demonetized.
But and not just Alex Jones. People like Ford Fisher have been shadow demonetized. rights organizations like Cop Block and gun rights groups have been demonetized, shadow banned, censored, and my solution is stop giving those people your content. And if there isn't a way that you can stop giving those people your content, we need to make a way so you can stop giving those people your content.
We've had some videos censored on the Free Keene YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go so far as to shut the channel down. There's no reason to shut off all of the people who've subscribed to that channel there. However, there is a reason to put up an alternative distribution system in the form of something like a library or your own self-hosting or both. And that way you can direct people who are still your followers on this other old platform, this old media platform, if you will, direct them to your new platform, but keep sending the new content to the old platform simply because you're never going to get them all to migrate over, and you want to reach those people.
Yeah.
But as much as possible, my suggestion is to host the actual content in a very public manner where anybody can get to it without any account, without any sign-in, without any KYC, without any ads, without any tracking, without any anything. And the only way you can do that at this time is to self-host, because WordPress pops up tracking warnings for me too. My WordPress pops them up. I don't know why my WordPress pops them up. I'm going to find out and make it stop. But even so, self-hosted software, you have to be very careful.
Ridley,
Simple.
Yeah, WordPress is not the greatest solution.
Go ahead.
What has worked least badly for me currently? I've taken steps. I started uploading the videos to MetaCafe and also to Facebook. That's what I can do for now. I've looked at library, and it was a huge morale boost to scroll to the bottom and see that it's a New Hampshire operation.
Oh yeah, you didn't know that?
Oh yeah, Jeremy over in Manchester.
Jeremy from Manchester, who was the husband and/or boy, I think fiance, maybe husband of the Free State Project's executive director. He got arrested actually doing civil disobedience out at Manchester.
It was great.
I guess it wasn't really civil disobedience; it was non-cooperation. He was outside of his home, being threatened by a Manchester police officer. They had the area on lockdown, and he had to go to the preschool to pick his kid up, and he was like, well, I'd like to leave my house.
He refused to obey, and he remained civil. I would call that civil disobedience.
Civil disobedience tends to be something you announce in advance, but yeah, you can call it that.
I don't think that's necessary. Rosa Parks didn't announce in advance. She announced the arrest.
That's true.
Yeah, I didn't announce in advance for the 420 rally.
Well, they planned Rosa Parks in advance, however.
Well, they planned it, but they didn't announce it. The thing is, they're not supposed to look planned at the time, so that's a curtain we're not supposed to peek behind.
Maybe it's non-cooperation if it's unplanned. Because non-cooperation is also a thing.
I mean, is non-cooperation to civil disobedience?
No, just standing there and saying, fork you, I'm not going to do what you tell me, is enough to be, that's disobedient. And maybe that example wasn't too civil, but
Hey Dave, when are you coming back to New Hampshire? I know you normally travel out to Colorado for a yearly kind of pilgrimage to see the family. When are you coming back?
Yeah, this one is up in the air because of the fact that my mom is in poor health, and I was kind of recalled to
I'm so sorry to hear
helping
that.
out. But, it's one of those things that will happen to all of us if we live long enough. And it will happen to all of our parents if they live long enough. But it does create some uncertainty as to what my timeline will be for coming back.
Oh, man. Well, it's nice to hear back from you, and I know you keep up the good work even though you're not here at the moment. Dave, of course, for listeners unfamiliar, was one of the very first movers here to New Hampshire, and it underscores the reason why if you can bring your parents with you and they love freedom, they ought to come too. That way nobody has to leave.
I wish my parents would come.
Here. Hey, thanks, Dave. Appreciate the call. It's RidleyReport.com to check out more of him. So here, briefly, before we continue with your calls, is the differences. According to Library, the Library is a decentralized video storage system, if you will, for the internet. It is blockchain based. without getting into details of how it works pretty well from my experience. The Free Keene YouTube channel is copied automatically to library, and they back up our videos from our YouTube channel. They've made a really easy kind of plug-and-play method for YouTube people to do this with their channels. So if you haven't done that and you've got a YouTube channel and you want to have it backed up to the blockchain, get over to the library's website. It's lbry.com. They do good work. But the question was earlier, what's the difference between IPFS, which is another file system that's decentralized, and BitTorrent and library? They say one big difference is lack of discovery. BitTorrent and IPFS provide decentralized ways to access a unique piece of data or information, but they don't provide an overall catalog that lists all of the available data or the information to consume. Another point is ugly URLs. BitTorrent only provides access via long, complex magnet URLs. IPFS supports human-friendly naming via IPNS, but this is an after-the-fact hack and doesn't provide a single authoritative user-friendly namespace the way library does.
And that is a sad thing because it would be so easily fixed. All you need is the equivalent of tiny URL.
Mm-hmm.
A URL shortening service. Set that software up to shorten your Bitcoin URLs, and you've moved that data.
You would have to make it something that's not centralized, though, in order to make it ideal. Because otherwise, you just have the centralized service that ends up.
And that's what libraries do.
Not really, because you can also just. I mean, if it's got a download database option and the software is open source, then you don't have to have a central person running it. You can just have lots of people running it.
So decentralized solution.
Well, yeah, that is basically decentralized, but it doesn't have to. I guess, that is a decentralized solution. I was thinking federated, and those sites would not necessarily be federated. Torrent search sites or internet search engines aren't federated, but they are decentralized because there are many of them.
2 more points. Lack of monetization. Neither BitTorrent or IPFS support payments to publishers for the content or data they create and publish to the network, while library does. So you can actually use the library cryptocurrency to reward the creators that you like. You cut out the whole need for advertisers and some central authority like YouTube to decide who gets the ad money. And finally, incentive problems. They say that the other systems rely on people being generous with their resources, while library creates market incentives for data to be as widespread and available as possible. We'll continue in moments. It's Free Talk Live.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results may vary. Exclusions apply.
But hey, I'm buying a huge flat screen TV so I can finally see it without my glasses.
Why not just get LASIK at the LASIK Vision Institute? That's what I'm doing.
My glasses and contacts are a pain. I'd love to finally get rid of these, but who can afford LASIK?
You can. Because the LASIK Vision Institute is offering dramatically low prices and an absolutely free consultation. Just text DO11 to 350350. The LASIK Vision Institute has already performed over 1 million procedures. They use the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision for a fraction of what others charge. Better vision, better value. The LASIK Vision Institute. Make this the year you finally get LASIK. For a free consultation plus an extra 20% discount, text DO11 to 350350. You'll see for free if LASIK is right for you. That's DO11 to 350350.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now to angioprim.com. That's ANGIOPRIM.com. Or to speak with a trained consultant. Give Angioprim a call at 954-882-7221. That's 954-882-7221.
Free Talk Live.
The only thing that separates government from the mafia is their cloak of legitimacy. The government is nothing more than an armed gang of violent people masquerading as though they're something else. They've got these PR systems in place to make people think that there's something special about their armed gang. to make them not realize that that's all they really are. They've got uniforms, they've got robes, they've got courtrooms, they've got this aura, they've got flags, they've got pledges of allegiance, they run the schools, they run the roads, they're everywhere. So you think that they're supposed to be there. They've been there since you've been born, so they must always have to be there. Well, that's not true. They're an organized gang of criminals. You know how I know they're criminals? Because they're using force on people, and that's wrong. It's just wrong to force people to do things.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You may dial toll-free here to join us. Whether you want to talk about open carrying in various different stores that have requested that people not open carry. We covered that earlier tonight. You can join us and bring up whatever's on your mind. Ended up talking about decentralized video storage as a solution to these centralized systems. Let's go ahead and call YouTube old media at this point.
This for sure.
YouTube is not only old media, it is probably the bigger a company is, the more compromised it is, because they have your own net worth to hold over your head. The size of your company is the size of the threat they have against you.
Anything that's centralized these days is old.
Plus your life, true. But they've got that on everybody.
So we're talking about alternatives like IPFS and the library system. I happen to like library, and as Dave Ridley pointed out, they are based here in New Hampshire, which is even better of a reason to like library. LBRY.
I like it, but we can't go around uncritically liking things because they're crypto, or we will fall into the Venezuela thing. So
I don't think anybody was saying
no one here was uncritical of library. I mean, I had a lot of questions about it. We've had Jeremy on the show. I've used it before. We've got the Free Keene YouTube channel up there, and I believe actually I think there's actually a Free Talk Live channel as well, if I recall correctly. So the Free Talk Live MP3 archives are actually also being mirrored over at library.
It does leave something to be desired still, but I think they are actually working on
still a beta, I think.
Yeah, I would say that's probably about right. There's also like a web version that they're working on, I think, if I recall correctly, and it's basically it'll turn it into like you're hosting a library, but it's web based, so you can access your own server effectively to access the library network. So you don't even have to have it installed like on your laptop. You would be able to access from anywhere, kind of like the speech thing, except I think the whole interface would be there.
Let's go to more of your calls and thoughts. We got Dillman88 on the line here on our Discord server. Calling in from California. Good afternoon.
Hey there, guys.
Hey.
So I've been hearing and listening for the past few months, listening to the new Democratic nominees about racism and institutionalized racism within the United States. And you see the New York Times doing their 1619 project, and you hear all these things about how we are a essentially racist country, and that's our original sin. I think that's more aptly aimed at the government just because the government's evil and in general. But how do we have a good libertarian conversation about this without starting to sound like a cat level?
I'm not sure what you're saying.
So every time I start having a conversation with people about what we need to do to have a better government, have a better society, it's about de-emphasizing the reliance on the government. And even today, I heard a historian on Sam Harris's podcast talking about how even sovereign citizens and people from Waco, people from Ruby Ridge, were all just a offshoot of the white supremacy movement within the United States. So it feels like anytime we start trying
they will try to paint us with that brush because that is their standard weapon. Call everybody a racist. And that's why Donald Trump, horrible as he is, got elected, because they got so sick. Because the voters got so sick of the leftists crying wolf about racism that they just stopped believing it.
Also, where's the evidence of the claim that so-called sovereign citizens, Randy Weaver, or any of these others are
Randy
racist?
Weaver was to some extent a racist. I think he has recanted those beliefs since.
Okay.
But I think he went through a period. But the thing is, I don't think he was ever violently anti-racist. His racism was expressed by withdrawing to South Dakota where nobody was around who bothered him, and then the feds came in onto his land and killed his wife and child.
The left has got all sorts of defamation against anybody basically that they don't like. It doesn't. They're not using logic and rational, and reasoning. They're just, they're making stuff up and twisting things into saying, twisting things to make it out as if people are saying things that they're not saying.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not actually a racist and somebody calls you a racist, then you know they don't actually have an argument.
Yeah.
The best example of that is a guy named Cliven Bundy. And Cliven Bundy was attacked by the Bureau of Land Management because they wanted to jack his land.
This was in Nevada a few years back.
Yeah. And they would have gotten it either by arresting him or killing him, except a whole bunch of patriots went down there with rifles. And this is why we need AR-15s. Even though in the best situations like this one, they were never fired.
Dillman,
their presence there. Well, there was one person who was killed during that thing, which was, but he was killed by government agents.
You're talking about the Malheur Wildlife, which was sort of the sequel to that.
That's true. That was the sequel. So you're right in the Cliven thing. But anyway, they started calling Cliven Bundy a racist because he said. But what he said was, if you look at what the federal government is doing to black people, it's as bad as slavery, is literally what he said. And they spun that into racist gold.
Wow. Yeah. See, unbelievable. This is exactly what I'm talking about. They're not. It's a bunch of defamation. They're not telling you shit. They're lying to you.
Well, never forget what Malcolm X said, and he said, "Be careful of your newspapers because they'll have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people that are doing the oppressing."
Dillman 88. I'm sorry, we've been dominating here. Go ahead with your thoughts.
My biggest concern is I always bring up the point of we need to privatize more. We need to get things out of the government hands. And the rebuttal I always hear is, oh, you don't care about people who are in lower economic areas because they don't have the ability to pick themselves up or do anything like that would be part of the free market.
Right. That's the sort of, we were actually discussing this with one of our neighbors earlier today. The mistake that people make is that they believe that the government is somehow helping poor people, that they need to have the government in order for people who are under a certain line of wealth to be able to get ahead in life. And the reality is the government actually stands in the way of those people making a better life for themselves in the form of things like licenses that they require in order to open up something as simple as a business. And then, of course, zoning also prohibits a lot of poor people from creating business, say starting a business in their own home, whether it's a restaurant or a hair braiding service or whatever it is we're talking about. In a lot of cities, it is completely against the law to run a business from within your own home. And in order to open a business outside of your home, it takes on extra costs because then you got to rent another place in addition to the place you're already paying rent for where you're living. And then, of course, all the licenses and regulations get in the way and make it near to impossible for a poor person to be able to start their own business through the sort of legal system, which is the way everyone's been trained. Oh, I want to start a business. I better go down to City Hall and find out what the right way to do it is, thinking that it's right to obey all these government bureaucrats' ordinances and such. And it just basically kicks out the bottom rungs of the economic ladder from poor people.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you're not politically connected, even if you're not poor, they can take whatever you have.
For sure.
There's You know, I'm reading right now about a guy named Leonard Peltier, who I guess was I don't know that this is true, but this is what I'm being told. He was framed by the FBI, and he's serving a life sentence. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I would tend to believe it because I've seen an FBI agent perjure himself
In your case.
about a conversation that he had with me. So I can never again be so naive as to think that an FBI agent won't lie on the stand.
Yeah, the government keeps poor people poor, and then they use them to vote for them because they've given them a bunch of checks, and their story is, well, you need us. See, you need us to give you checks so you can survive. What would you do without us? Well, the reality is they'd become wealthy without the government in their way. Go ahead,
Yes.
Dillman.
And especially if they had the right to homestead land,
Right, that
so
would
they
help
had
too.
a place to go for free where they could do things.
Dillman?
Yes.
Anything else?
Yeah, one other quick question off topic. Which would you prefer, a VPN or a Tor browser if you're trying to do stuff that is maybe a little more questionable?
Why not both?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with belt and suspenders. This is a safety issue. It's your life.
Let me take this one. So yeah, this is a good question. It depends on what you're trying to do and effectively it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to avoid like the copyright cartel, just a VPN is probably good enough. But if you're trying to do something more like run the next Silk Road, you probably want some combination of a VPN and especially configured with a router as well as and firewall, as well as running Tor over
And you
over
can
that.
help
If
with
you're
a
going to
VPN.
start a dark net.
Hold that thought. You can help with the VPN over at thinkpenguin.com.
That's right.
In fact, you run a VPN.
Yes, that's correct.
And that's available at thinkpenguin.com.
Yep, just click on networking, and the very top product is like the router. And
There's even a router.
There is a router
that runs everything on your network through the VPN, so you don't have to worry about whether something is connected to the VPN or not. It is always
comes
on.
set up. All you gotta do is plug it in and select your access point, and it'll tunnel all your traffic through to the VPN. Yeah, it's great to work. It's a great tool to use with Tor.
Dillman, thank you for the call tonight. Appreciate hearing from you. Sounded great, by the way, on our Discord server over at discord.lrn.fm. Hour 3's next. You can join us on Free Talk Live.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556 ICAGoldSilver.com. Warning, this is a privacy alert. You are being spied on right now as I speak by your phone. If you want this to stop, visit GoDarkBags.com and we'll show you how elite military units protect themselves and how you can too. GoDark Bags are lab tested and guaranteed for life. Visit GoDarkBags.com now and enter discount code FTL to save 15%. That's GoDarkBags.com. Discount code FTL. Your privacy depends on it. End transmission.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,498, silver at $17.79, and Bitcoin is trading at $10,265. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, a U.S. drone attack killed 30 pine nut farmers and wounded at least 40 others in Afghanistan Wednesday night. The latest killing of innocent civilians by American forces as the War on Terror enters its 19th year. The Mind Unleashed reports the farmers had just finished work and were sitting by a fire when the strike happened. That's according to a tribal elder. Reuters reported there may be more farmers missing, as Hyder Khan, who owns the pine nut fields, said about 150 workers were there for harvesting, with some still missing, as well as the confirmed dead and injured. A survivor of the drone strike said about 200 laborers were sleeping in 5 tents pitched near the farm when the attack happened. In a statement, Colonel Sonny Leggett, the spokesman for the U.S. campaign in Afghanistan, said the attack was aimed at Daesh terrorists in Nangarhar province. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. Environmentalists on Wednesday celebrated after a federal court temporarily blocked enforcement of a recently enacted South Dakota law that aims to hit pipeline protesters with fines and up to 25 years in prison. Legal experts and green groups have decried the law, officially titled the Riot Boosting Act, as a flagrant violation of the First Amendment of the Constitution that was obviously targeted at Keystone XL opponents, according to a report from Activist Post. South Dakota is one of several Republican-controlled states to pass legislation in recent months to criminalize pipeline protests. In June, Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed into law a measure that would hit pipeline protesters with up to a decade in prison. Common Dreams in June reported the Trump administration is also looking to punish anti-pipeline demonstrators at the federal level. In his ruling on Wednesday, U.S. District Judge Lawrence Pearsall wrote, quote, "Imagine if these riot-boosting statutes were applied to the protests that took place in Birmingham, Alabama. What might be the result?" End quote. The parents of a 4-year-old Florida boy had their child taken away last month because they sought to treat his cancer in a holistic manner. A judge ruled the couple had placed their son in harm's way after seizing chemotherapy treatments for his leukemia. Taylor Bland Ball and Joshua McAdams had their parental rights taken away from them following the couple's decision to seek a second opinion out of state. That decision led to the parents giving their son CBD and THC oil, along with traditional chemotherapy treatments. NBC News reports that a Hillsborough County judge ordered that 3-year-old Noah McAdams continue to receive chemotherapy treatment at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital within the next 28 days. Bland Ball responded to the judge's decision outside the Florida courtroom. She said, quote, "We're disappointed with the fact that they are moving forward with chemotherapy, considering all the side effects that were brought up in court today, including death." End quote. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
I'm getting joined by Ellie Granderson. She's going to put a feminine scope on these lace kerchief starbuggers and give us her lady opinion. Ellie?
Hi, Joe.
You know, it riles me up every time you walk in here, Ellie. You set my blood to dancing with all your pillowy parts.
Oh, stop it, Joe.
Now give it to me, no fimble famble, Ellie. When we start dusting these rocket boys' lily white bottoms with baby puff?
Joe, since the end of the Cold War, NASA has basically functioned as a giveaway to the American aerospace industry, wasting trillions of taxpayer dollars every year on extravagant programs with no tangible benefit.
Fine as a plum to look at, all the sense of a badger to boot.
Joe.
Now I've been thinking on, I got these three little chickens pecking on my head. Will save NASA some coin. Man wants to go to space, can strap on the helmet, climb in the cannon, let the Chinese gunpowder carry him off among the stars. He'll come back now. Gonna skin a fox in one throat, and you're gonna fancy on it.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up what you want. As we launch here into the third hour of the program, you can take control of the airwaves. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms. They're open and available to you right now over at discord.lrn.fm. We've had a few different calls on Discord. We're going to go back to those in a moment. Also, our regular phone lines are available as well at 855-450-FREE like freedom. Joining you tonight, it's Ian.
The nobody formerly known as Rich Paul.
And Chris.
And coming up, Chris, you're going to be telling us about a ban on Instagram of a certain type of photos involving people just peacefully shooting at a gun range. We'll explain that coming up here in moments. But first, two more of your calls and thoughts. We have Kirby on the line. He's in Indianapolis. Kirby, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, Kirby.
First of all, Walmart. They've lost about $600 a month from me, because that's what I used to spend in there. I could go to Walmart, do my grocery shopping, buy clothes, get ammo, and I buy quite a bit of ammo because I'm a firearms instructor, and that's where I got all the stuff for my students. So I don't have a problem with not spending my money with them. As far as this Cliven Bundy. I actually agree with what he did, but I do have to say that if those were black, brown, or yellow people with AKs and ARs aimed at police, they would have slaughtered them.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you tell me where there are black, brown, or yellow people who are already armed, okay, and they're ready to fight, and their cause is just, then I'll go down and stand with them if you think having a white guy there will help. I can't carry a gun because I'm a felon, but that won't stop them from killing me, so I'm still a human shield.
But that's not the point. The point is...
But no, that is the point, because that's how we should answer that problem, is if they won't shoot white people, get more white people to protests where black people are protesting, and let it be known that white people will stand by black people when they're protesting. But the thing is, in order for that to happen, you have to take a different tone and a different tack than Black Lives Matter takes. And we have to look at this as a scourge on everyone.
Okay, first of all, Black Lives Matter is garbage.
I disagree.
Agree with them one little bit. Hold on.
Yeah.
I don't agree with them one little bit, because what they do is they attempt to instigate stuff. I'm a black guy, bro. I absolutely disagree with their approach to this. And in the end, as you said, the police would be slightly less inclined to shoot at white folks, but isn't that in itself a problem?
Well, it is in and of itself a problem, but the thing is, you can't change the hearts and minds of men en masse without using techniques which are horribly unethical, like locking people up for opinions. So what do? The first thing you do is anytime you find somebody acting that way in government, you out them. And you make sure that when people are blowing the whistle, you make sure you stand by those people, because the thing is, you stand up to government and government crushes you until you have to stop fighting and defend yourself. And if people don't stand with the activists, then that will succeed for government every time.
Okay, bro, but I just heard Ian say a few moments ago that government is a group of armed thugs who are no better or worse than the mafia. So,
yeah, I say that all the time.
I actually prefer the mafia because at least they spell out the contract.
Yeah, exactly. So we're dealing with government here, and we're dealing with a government that was built on injustice towards anyone or anything that they did not like for whatever reason. And the systemic racism in this country makes it all. I mean, like I said, I open carry daily.
Thank you for your service.
Once a week, simply for being armed
by police.
While black. Yeah.
Wow.
I believe it. Yeah, you know,
and here in Indiana, they just passed a law a couple years ago that tells the police they cannot stop and request to see a carry permit just because they see a gun.
So what are they stopping you for?
Court, that's what they're stopping me for, but generally they'll say...
oh, of course, they lie.
Say, yeah.
There's an escaped criminal in the neighborhood, and you meant that.
I've had that one used on me.
I'm riding my bicycle home at night. Cop lights me up, pulls me over, and goes, "Hey, man, you don't have a light on your bike. I need to see your ID."
Dude, I had that kind of thing happen walking down the street without a bike. Yeah, I'm not black, but it's the cops are liars. They're thugs. They're definitely no better than mafia. And I think you're right about the Black things matter. I think
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Yeah, sorry. I think Black Lives Matter. It's not that black people aren't discriminated against, but it's the problem.
They're tactically.
They're wrong when they only focus on the claim that the police are attacking blacks.
But that's the thing is that's their perspective.
It's their perspective.
But it's still wrong.
But it doesn't make them wrong. It makes their view incomplete. There's a difference between incomplete and false.
If what they're saying is the only problem is police attacking blacks, that's incorrect.
Right.
But they're not saying that. They're saying there's a big problem of police attacking blacks, which is a true statement.
There is a problem.
Yeah. It's not false.
But it's because they attack everyone.
There's also a big and it's very difficult to communicate because one of the disinformation tactics that I think they use is if you say all lives matter, well, how's the CIA trolls going to react to that? They're going to start posting a bunch of racist stuff with all lives matter, and then in the future when you say all lives matter, people associate it with the racist stuff. But that's not something that people come to naturally. That's something that I believe is imposed from outside. So I think that the rank and file of Black Lives Matter is right, that there is a lot of stuff that's bad that's happening to black people, and I have to admit that, and I have to recognize it, and I think they also need to recognize that it happens to people of every race, creed, and color, and that it's always equally bad. And I think we need to come together. And when the Black Panthers and the Proud Boys can stand next to each other and say, we have a common enemy that's more important than any beef that we have with each other, then that's the day that terrifies the police.
Yeah, it's I feel like
absolutely.
I feel like the whole thing is being used. It's being used to divide us. We should be coming together.
Exactly, and it's by design. Yeah. It's not an accident. So if you hear somebody preaching hate, whether they know it or not, they're preaching for the government. They're preaching for the state. They're energizing both sides in the negative direction.
Yeah. Look,
I would love there to be more black people, encouraging, moving up to New Hampshire and joining us in New Hampshire for change, because
you mean more black libertarians,
right? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, if you look at things, if more people realize that it's not just the black people or black community which is being targeted, but all sorts of different minority communities, well, then maybe they'll begin to realize.
I mean,
hey,
look, let's be clear. It's mostly poor people that are being targeted. If you want to talk about groups being targeted, because the cops know they can go after the poor.
Absolutely.
Because the poor cannot defend themselves legally through lawyers. They don't have them. They can't afford them. And secondly, they were educated in many cases by the government, so they don't know their rights in a lot of cases. I want to get Kirby.
And they weren't
let's let
taught
Kirby
to think about whether what the court does is right or wrong.
True. Kirby, other thoughts? Go ahead, quickly.
Yeah, my thing is with Black Lives Matter, their approach is wrong. It's like the people in Texas that were walking around with guns hollering about oink, oink, bang, bang. What good does that do your cause? And all it does
Nothing. It's just anger.
Create negative attention.
It's just anger. Thank you, Kirby, which is what you're right. Thank you for the call. I appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. If you're coming at things from a perspective of hate, that's going to manifest into some really negative coverage and negative opinions. More coming up. It's Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com.
Balance of nature, changing the world one life at a time.
I really haven't been sick. People in my house come down with whatever's going around, but it passes me by, and I just take a couple of more, just in case. But I really haven't been sick since I started taking them, And my energy level is a lot better. I'm walking around, and I can do 5 miles a day. Oh, I'll tell you, I'm a firm believer in it, Don't mess with success.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Receive 25% off your first preferred purchase of Balance of Nature. Plus, get a set of convenient travel bottles containing a free additional week's supply of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. With these discounts, you will still receive free shipping on every order. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FREETALKLIVE.
Are you locked into a crappy schedule where you're forced to report to work, or even to a relationship where you're not allowed to do the things you want to do? That sucks. Wouldn't you prefer to live a more free life? There's another way to live. I'm Caleb Jones, and my staff and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income, location-independent businesses and how to date women under your terms. Go to freelifeinfo.com to download 7 free books and podcasts so you can live a life like this too.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
I'm crazy about My Magic Mud. This is the most important oral care product created this millennium, and I'm not kidding. We all have different opinions on politics and issues, but we all have mouths. And I want yours to be as clean as possible, with teeth as bright as they were meant to be. I will never be without My Magic Mud. It's a little surprising, but man, does it work. If you only listen to one thing I say ever, go to mymagicmud.com and get 20% off with code FTL. mymagicmud.com, code FTL.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up what you want. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Coming up, Instagram targeting gun owners or just anybody with a gun in a photograph at a gun range. You don't even have to be a gun owner in that case. You could just be there shooting with a friend of yours or whatever. Saying that those are prohibited photos now. Chris has that story. That's coming up. Plus, your calls and thoughts are welcome. Also want to make sure you know about local.bitcoin.com. It is the newish trading platform that allows you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash with dozens of payment methods. You can go to local.bitcoin.com and get started trading Bitcoin Cash, and you can do it globally. And there's no ID requirement in order to sign up for and use the site, and communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. So visit local.bitcoin.com. Get started trading Bitcoin Cash. That's local.bitcoin.com. Lots of great calls here tonight. We've finally gotten through these callers. I think we should talk about your story, Chris, this ban from Instagram, since I feel like we've covered everything pretty detailed up until this point. We had discussed earlier tonight the Walmart targeting gun owners and the other grocery stores and department stores telling gun owners they're not allowed in, or rather they're going to be respectfully requested to leave. Many reports say that Walmart is leaving open carriers alone, but Instagram is not leaving gun users alone. Chris, do you happen to have that story available?
Yeah, I do.
Where's it from?
So this is coming from summit.news.com.
Okay.
Instagram is now banning photos of people at gun ranges, claiming they promote violence. Yeah, it's absolutely absurd.
Yeah, defensive violence and being able to control your gun so the bullet reaches the target, which hopefully would be an attacker.
Well, I mean, I don't even necessarily know it's promoting defensive violence at gun range. You're not attacking anybody for defensive purposes or otherwise.
Well, generally, the reason you train with a gun is presumably so you'll be better with it in the event that you're actually attacked.
Maybe, but
unless you're a pro shooter.
A lot of people do it for hunting or just for entertainment purposes, essentially.
True. Some people.
It's a sport.
Yeah, but usually if you've got a pistol, you're not going hunting with a pistol.
Well, okay, but still, entertainment. I don't know if entertainment is quite the right word, but
well,
fun.
some people
They're doing
go
it for
to the
fun,
gun
right?
range, and it is fun for them.
Right?
Yeah. But generally, the reason why people acquire guns and train with them at the range isn't because of the fun of plinking off rounds at a target. It's because they want to improve their skill with that tool so they're better able to use it to defend themselves. So whether it's from an attacker who is a private person or from a government attacker, those are the reasons that tend to motivate people.
I would be very interesting to see a poll on that, actually, because it seems like there would be a range of people at a gun range, and they would give you different reasons for having a gun, and I'm sure that would be
I suspect they would give you
a
different
segment.
reasons.
Having spent a lot of time at gun ranges, I can tell you they'd give you a lot of different reasons.
Yeah. What kind of reasons would you?
Some people say they just love doing it. It's like a sport to them. Some people say that they're concerned about home defense. But usually, if you press those people, there's some issues about security from government in there as well. And at the same time, you'll find some people who say their primary issue is fear of the government, but they also have concern about home defense. So those are the two major things.
Okay.
People want to defend themselves against either the other thing is like, I like to hunt, or it's fun, or whatever, and none of that none of that really matters to me.
So, getting into the story, Instagram is now blurring out images of women at gun ranges, saying the photos violate violence.
Do they do that only to women?
Or dangerous organization guidelines? Yeah, I don't know. I guess this is talking about a specific example. Yes, really. A picture was posted showing Caitlin or Caitlin. I don't know if it's Caitlin maybe. Bennett and Millie.
Okay, now
Weaver.
Caitlin Bennett is a well-known activist, so that's
Okay.
that's important.
What is she an activist for?
She was the one, I believe. I assume they're talking about the same woman. But isn't she the one who carried an AR-15 to her graduation?
Yep. According to Wikipedia,
Okay, that makes a
she
difference.
received media attention in 2018 for open carrying an AR-10 at a Kent State University graduation thing.
That doesn't make her bad or wrong. Everybody spins their press releases, but it's good to know what the spin is if you want to really understand what's going on.
I'm shocked that they didn't have I don't know, some sort of armed response to somebody carrying a gun, to a graduation of some kind.
Well, I'm sure she researched very carefully before she did that. I would have.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be afraid people would start getting up and running and screaming for their lives, and then having an armed response of some kind.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if some cop panic and kill you. Cops are cowardly these days.
I mean,
and
even without any
standard,
shots going off.
And the standard for self-defense is supposed to be you can use deadly force when a reasonable person would be in fear of great bodily harm or death. Okay? The problem is that police are held to the standard of I feared for my life, not a reasonable person would have.
Yeah.
Because you can say I feared for my life from a chihuahua. Maybe you've got a phobia about dogs. You think they're going to eat you in your sleep. But the thing is that if a reasonable person wouldn't feel the same way, you don't have a right to shoot that dog.
Unless you're a cop, in which case
exactly, and that's the thing.
If you feel or fear for your life and you're a cop just because somebody is carrying a gun, you shouldn't be a cop.
There's a lot of cops out there that shouldn't be cops.
Yep.
And the thing is,
for sure,
he can keep shooting people longer than you can stay alive after being shot.
So let's see, shooting firearms at a gun range.
I see the picture here. I got it pulled up on a Zero Hedge article about this. You got basically a couple young ladies aiming. Obviously, they're at a gun range. It's not some sort of gun brandishing exercise here. They're training.
First off, they're violating the narrative already because they're women with guns. And the narratives say that guns are a tool of patriarchal oppression. And so they're violating the narrative right there. I'm not surprised they got shut down.
Yeah. Facebook owned Instagram, banned and removed the image, claiming it violated their policy on violence or dangerous organizations. The image depicts two independent women at a shooting range legally and lawfully exercising their Second Amendment rights. In our new
This is how social media will destroy itself.
Yeah.
Probably before government gets a chance.
In our new social credit score dystopia, that's forbidden. First, it was images of Alex Jones. Now it's images of legal firearms. Recall that many on the left are attempting to have the NRA declared a terrorist organization. Yeah, and this is for real. This was just in the news last week, 2 weeks ago, maybe. Do you guys remember that story?
San Francisco or Oakland. I forget which one it was.
I mean, that was just
insane. I would love to
insane.
fly out there and protest the San Francisco City Council with big signs that say they're a terrorist organization.
I think
if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander.
I think the NRA is actually suing the city over that.
Well,
whole thing.
I sure hope so as a lifetime member.
All right, toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. If you want to join us, the toll-free number 855-450-3733. You may take control of the airwaves here. This is Free Talk Live. Coming up, nobody's got a special announcement. It's Free Talk Live. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Warning, this is a privacy alert. You are being spied on right now as I speak by your phone. If you want this to stop, visit GoDarkBags.com and we'll show you how elite military units protect themselves and how you can too. Go Dark Bags are lab tested and guaranteed for life. Visit GoDarkBags.com now and enter discount code FTL to save 15%. That's GoDarkBags.com. Discount code FTL. Your privacy depends on it. End transmission.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
There are basically two types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You dial in toll free, bring up what you want here. Our toll free number 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Instagram may be cracking down on people showing pictures of themselves at a gun range. That's the story that you brought in here tonight, Chris. We can talk further about that. Plus, also, I want to make sure you know about helpmetakebitcoin.com. If you are a person who is a business owner, for instance, you want to start taking cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and Dash and I think they got Zcash and others on there. Get on over to helpmetakebitcoin.com. There's close to a dozen different cryptocurrencies that you can accept easily at your point of sale. And you can do it within moments. Even if you've never done anything with cryptocurrency before, they will walk you through the process, and you can be up and running in a matter of minutes over at helpmetakebitcoin.com. It's helpmetakebitcoin.com. And yes, the AnyPay app for accepting cryptocurrency at your point of sale is available for both iOS and Android devices. And if you don't even have one of those, there's still a web browser version as well. So head to helpmetakebitcoin.com as we continue here. You can bring up anything that you want. I know that you had a statement to make here, Nobody, but let's bring Gene the Christian Anarchist on here because he's been waiting patiently on our Discord server. Go ahead, Gene. It sounds like he's listening to his radio, so I'm just going to turn him down for a little bit. We'll get to the statement here instead, and then we'll check back with Gene. It's always best to listen on your device.
Okay. Well, Saturday. On Saturday, September 28th, the 420 Foundation will be hosting a peaceful assembly to demand redress of the grievances of the victims of the drug war and to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the founding of the 420 Foundation and the 420 rallies. We've made a lot of progress in 10 years, but we've got a long way left to go. We've gained medical, we've gained decriminalization, and we have, most recently, loosened again the cruel and pointless constraints on medical marijuana. But we are not done. And
Hold on, before you, I got to interrupt you on this. What have they done recently with medical constraints?
They recently, I'm not sure if it was one of the vetoes got overridden on
this
marijuana.
Was like today or
this
yesterday.
Was just,
really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see, constraints on medical marijuana, but we're not done, and we must serve notice on that the people will not be satisfied until the crime against humanity, that is the war on drugs, is over and those responsible brought to justice, or at least to peace. Stoners are not disposable people, and we, like everyone, retain our rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, even if we seek happiness through unapproved chemical means. The nobody formerly known as Rich Paul will be speaking about his run for mayor, governor, and president, and how we can finish the job of winning the war on drugs by emulating the examples of Portugal and Sweden, and why the fight is taking so long. Bring your own bud and some to share. Decriminalization means we're much safer than before. Mind the 21-gram limit if you're concerned about arrest. The rally will be September 28th on the Keene Common, Keene, New Hampshire at 4:20 p.m.
So it's back!
It's back from the dead.
Yeah, 10 years later.
Well, not dead. It's always kept going in Concord. Well, it's had an annual existence. Yeah. Not a year has been missed, even the year I wasn't here.
That's true.
And a year I was in jail.
Yeah, I was there for a couple.
That's because it's bigger than one man.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a real movement.
It's not just me. There's a lot of people demanding justice.
You were going to say something there?
Yeah, I mean, we've had decent turnouts. I think for I don't know. I've only been to 3, but I mean the last 3 I thought were pretty decent.
I think so. And it's harder. The more success you have, the more difficult it can be in some ways to get people to come out because, I got my decriminalization. They're not going to arrest me, so why do I need to bother? It's good enough. But others may be encouraged to come out because now they can't be arrested for smoking cannabis in Central Square. Plus, we're also going to be maybe attracting a younger generation because it's been a decade. And the people who are saying this to Nobody the other day, there's people who lived here in Keene that remember that. A lot of them remember this stuff. The younger people, they remember it, and they remember it fondly because
it was a great time.
It was a great time. Even if you didn't go, you might have had fond memories of it. Because if you were, let's say you were 9 years old and your mom is driving around Central Square and you're like, Mom, what's going on in Central Square? And you get to find out what's happening there and there's people smoking pot and you're like, oh, that's cool. Well, now you're 19 years old.
There's a mushroom crowd over Central Square, Mommy. Is the government bombing?
Now there's a good chance that 9-year-old has tried marijuana in the interceding 10 years, and this will be their very first time going to Central Square to consume it.
Well, the one guy said, "Oh, I always wanted to go to those."
Exactly.
Wasn't there one guy? I think there was.
I bet you there's more than one guy who wanted to go
for sure,
or somebody who was working or had a job that was drug testing or whatever, right? So it'll be interesting to see how this goes.
Or maybe they were just scared because back then we didn't have decrim. You were going to get arrested if you had some bud in your hand. Now you're not going to get arrested. They're just going to take your bud.
Can you reiterate what the date was? I heard Saturday, but I don't know if it was this Saturday, next Saturday, a month from now.
Saturday, September 28th.
September 28th.
And the reason for that is we were really high when we started this thing, so we're not really sure what day it was. But we think we started it somewhere between September 12th and September 26th. So this would be the nearest weekend, and we wanted to get it on a Saturday because, a lot of these people are older and have jobs now. So
okay, so you guys had mentioned, just to reverse for a moment, regarding this home grow bill in New Hampshire.
Yep.
According to the Concord Monitor, this was just the state house that overrided the veto. That does not mean the Senate has or will. So according to the story here, late Wednesday morning, the House achieved its first veto override for the week. So there were 24 potential veto override attempts. Only one of them was actually successfully overridden, and it was this homegrown bill. With an over two-thirds margin, lawmakers voted to support a medical marijuana home grow bill. House Bill 364 would allow those who qualify for medical cannabis to grow up to 3 cannabis plants in the home. Sununu, the governor, opposed it as part of general opposition to the expansion of marijuana in the state. But while the House delivered a bipartisan rebuke Wednesday, the real battle lies in the Senate. The bill passed earlier this year with only a 14-10 margin, not enough for the 16-vote veto override threshold, so they will need to flip 2 of the senators who voted against this the first time and have them vote in favor of this override this time. And whether they can do that or not remains to be seen. So this is not a full override yet.
Call storm is in order.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We should be raining down, maybe not mean calls, but we should be calling these 4 people and telling them they're wrong and telling them why.
Yeah, I've sent some emails already on this, and I forget who. I think it might be the Marijuana Policy Project or something that had. If you're a subscriber to that, you may have gotten an email already on this. So look through your emails and hit the button because they have all the information necessary to make the calls.
Hold up! Breaking news. That was that story was 2 days old. The very last line of that story said that the Senate would be taking it up Thursday. I checked, and that meant yesterday.
Oh,
they did vote to override. So
Yeehaw!
yes,
we have listened to something.
Kudos to the New Hampshire senators who flipped and changed their mind on this.
And in some cases, the veto override failures were good because there were a lot of bad gun bills that got put in by the Democrats and were vetoed by the governor, and those vetoes sustained. So that's a really interesting question because in both cases, it went toward the liberty side.
That's correct.
And
That's
that
awesome.
may be libertarian swinging.
Absolutely.
And they say we're not having any success here. All those naysayers, boo.
Yeah, I still
live free or die.
Yeah, I still don't see the actual vote, but they are saying the Senate has voted. So I'd be curious to know what the numbers were on the veto override.
I only skimmed it. I misunderstood. Yeah. I thought they were saying that we lost.
Well, the thing is, it passed in the Senate the first time, so it doesn't really the vote came out right. So we don't have to get anybody to. Oh, okay. We would need to have more, though, to get a supermajority.
Well, I'm going to give myself a pat on the back because I helped get this through.
What did you do? Testify at State
No.
House?
No. I just emailed or called a rep or something.
Probably the ones in Keene would have been on the right side on this anyway. They're not right on most things in Keene because they're terrible for freedom for the most part, but they're usually good on the marijuana issue. But still, thanks for making the call. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. So apparently, medical patients can now home grow in New Hampshire. That is a big deal.
That's great.
So awesome. It's Free Talk Live.
Fellow Patriots, my name is Todd Savage, founder of BlackRifleRealEstate.com. Like you, I was a prisoner of the alt-left sanctuary state until one day I chose to lead my family to freedom. Today we live on a sustainable 20-acre homestead where we shoot, hunt, garden, and homeschool our children without the tyranny of the nanny state looking over us. If you're ready to flee the city to the freedom of Idaho or Montana, our Black Rifle Real Estate team is here to help. Go to BlackRifleRealEstate.com. That's BlackRifleRealEstate.com.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Introducing Reveal from GCNLife.com. Beverly Hills dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman invented Reveal, which contains polypeptides with natural botanicals and no parabens, sulfates, silicones, or dyes for a salon-quality hair growth product. Reveal. Here's Dr. Newman.
I have treated a lot of patients who lose their hair and they lose their confidence. We've created a unique set of polypeptides, which we call HPT6. The HPT6 contains the polypeptides from 6 different plants. The scalp infusion treatment should be used on wet or dry scalp. The Reveal hair care system is designed to be used for men and women alike.
Get Reveal at GCNLife.com with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So try Reveal today at GCNLife.com or 844-443-6637. Plus a discount up to 25% off for Reveal at GCNLife.com or 844-443-6637.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com.
Live video of our Keene, New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
All right. I got to take it back. First, it looked like the Senate hadn't voted on the bill for making medical patients in New Hampshire for cannabis being able to grow their own plants, because the House had voted to override the governor's veto on this. Then I saw a report, I still have it here, from WMUR, which is like the TV station in New Hampshire. The report says here, quote, Republican Governor Chris Sununu vetoed a bill to eliminate the... Oh, wait a minute. This is... Oh, my bad.
Were you reading the
No,
wrong...
I read the wrong... Okay, so apparently there was a different bill.
There was a home grow bill, too, and that veto did not go over, did not get overridden.
The home grow failed to be overridden.
Okay.
What succeeded? Apparently, there was a different bill, and I'm sorry, it was like
there were two
marijuana
separate
bill.
bills.
This is the problem with New Hampshire. We got so many bills, like marijuana bills in particular. It's like, I don't even know what's going on.
All right, so this is apparently what's going on.
There's all too many bills, and we get stuck with all of them.
Right. Yeah. Veto was overridden on a New Hampshire medical marijuana prescribing bill, meaning that medical marijuana patients will be able to get prescriptions even if they haven't had the same doctor for 3 months. That's good news because it was one of the original restrictions that was put on the medical bill was that, let's say you just moved to New Hampshire from Michigan, where there's medical cannabis, right? They've got legal cannabis actually now in Michigan. But you've come from Michigan. You've got your doctor's note from Michigan. You come in and you say, all right, I need my legal medical marijuana here in New Hampshire. And the law was, nope, sorry, you can't have that because you need to have a relationship with a doctor here in New Hampshire for 3 months. Is my understanding of it.
You know what?
Yes, that's exactly what it was. And it was worse than that because that could become recursive because you could go pay a doctor for 3 months and that doctor at the end of that 3 months could say, nah, I don't feel like writing you a thing. Then you got to go find another doctor and see him for 3 months. So now you've been 6 months at risk of getting arrested for your medicine. And let me tell you, if these people are saying that the reason they're doing this is because they're afraid that marijuana is a gateway to opiates, then I have to say that they are either stupid or liars because they do not impose these restrictions on opiates. And it's pretty well proven that there's an association between opiate use and opiate use.
It's like saying caffeine leads to, stronger drugs.
Yeah,
right?
caffeine leads to cocaine, but cocaine is okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good news and a little bit of bad news. But the good news is I did find the vote. There's a great little website called Gen Court Mobile, which is what clued me in that I was wrong in the first place because they were showing me this bill about the medical home grow as having failed in the Senate. They've actually got the details on everything. So you can click and you can look at the roll call and see what the vote was. It was 13-11. So it was still a 2-vote difference. But somebody else wasn't there this time because previously it was like 14 to, or no, what was it now anyway? I don't know what all the damn numbers were.
I think it was 14-10 the first time.
No, because it was a 2-vote difference the first time.
Oh, okay.
It was a 2-vote difference first time. So it's a close issue. And, I think this is another one that we're probably going to see pass in a couple more years, likely. So, and you know what also, especially if you make the move here, as we should point out.
Well, if nobody is governor,
nobody could be governor in 2020.
Nobody's running for governor, for president, and for mayor.
Well, one of the questions you had, and I think it's a good question, is when should nobody announce a gubernatorial campaign?
Well, nobody just did.
Well, right, but you haven't sent out a press release to the media in
No, I wanted to tell
Hampshire.
my loved ones first,
Okay.
so I saved it for the Free Talk Live audience.
I think you should probably at least wait until this mayoral campaign's over.
Well, here, you grab a shoehorn and I'll put this genie back in this bottle.
Well, but there is a time to send a press release.
Yeah, and eventually the official announcement will be made, but I formed an exploratory committee with myself. I found I did nothing wrong, and nobody should be governor.
So I'm looking forward to that. And so, actually,
as a matter of fact, if you don't have anybody you want to vote for, and wherever you're voting, whatever you're voting for, just write in nobody. If there's nobody libertarian enough for you, then vote for nobody.
So if you want to join us here, the toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. We have Lauren. She's in Montana listening on the radio. Lauren, where in Montana are you listening on the radio?
Anaconda.
Oh, well, welcome to the show. You're on Free Talk Live.
Thank you. So I had a couple different things I wanted to talk about regarding the medical marijuana. And actually, one of the first things, I was a caregiver for a while, and I was only caregiving for 3 people at the time. And I was really excited when Montana got the medical marijuana laws passed. And the first year that I actually did it, all the licensing and fees was only $50. And
is this for a year? $50 for 1 year?
$50 for 1 year.
Okay.
Well, so then we had some laws change, and the next year it went up to $1,000.
What?
Wow.
So
This is the problem with licensing.
That shouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah, this is government abusing people.
Yeah.
Well, the
Sick
thing
people.
is, they realized
It's the worst kind of
advance.
abuse.
If when you raise the fee like that, you create a larger barrier to entry, and that gives the 1% an advantage over the 99%, and that's exactly what they did.
Spot on.
Exactly, and that's like where I have a huge problem with it. Because of course I support legalization. I'm a libertarian. But the thing is that as soon as we get the legalization, we get all of the government involvement and all that. And, I was only doing it for my dad and two of my friends, and I wasn't doing it really to have any profit. I just have a green thumb. And then I couldn't do it anymore because I wasn't doing it for profit. I worked another job, and I couldn't pay that $1,000. I just didn't have, and it was totally out of the blue. So that's the first thing, is that everybody needs to be careful of the fact that, as soon as we get the legalization, we need to watch out for all of the government involvement.
Totally agree.
This is why,
I'll tell you what,
they just charge the crap out of you. Excuse my language, but
Thank you.
I don't
they
say,
just overcharge.
I don't say legalize anymore. I don't say decriminalize anymore. What I say is end prohibition and deregulate marijuana all the way to the bone.
Exactly. And now here, another reason why I stopped was because they passed these laws where you have to tag every single plant that you have with an RFID chip tag, and it's totally ridiculous. There's no way that they can actually trace it, but it's just the government getting involved.
Walk by your house and
No,
scan
but
it.
what happened is they got paid off by the manufacturer of the RFID tags.
Yeah, you got it.
The one good thing about what they're doing to the marijuana business is a lot of the people going into the marijuana business are more or less socialists. They're believers in regulation. They're left-wing. Not all of them, but a lot of them. But when I talk to them about the regulation of the marijuana business, they understand. And then I can point out they do the same thing in the brewing business and the media business and the movie business and every other business, and that's what socialism turns into, and that is the silver lining to this very dark cloud of regulation.
When we're pushing these bills through, it shouldn't we should be saying no taxes and no licensing, not just legalization.
And that's what I want to see happen here too. And I've talked to some of the state reps about this here in New Hampshire, like Mark Warden, longtime sponsor here on Free Talk Live. When I talked to him at the, I think it was one of the dinners, they have like an awards dinner for the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance, which is a group that rates state reps here in New Hampshire. And I said, what we ought to do is, I said, do you know Peter Cushing? Rennie Cushing, sorry. Peter Cushing's the actor. Rennie Cushing, who is the guy who sponsored the legalization bill this time around that failed this year in New Hampshire. And he says he gets along great with Rennie. Rennie's one of the top Democrats. He's the head of the Criminal Justice Council or committee or whatever at the State House. Anyway, I suggested they get together and do a bipartisan decriminalization bill for all natural products. So, peyote, mushrooms, cannabis.
That would be great.
And decriminalize these, get rid of any kind of arrests for selling, get rid of any kind of arrests for growing. If you want to have something, violation level, right? Like a ticketable offense or something, right? Because you always have to compromise on these things. But then there would be no legalization scheme. It would just be straight up decrim of these things. That would be a huge step towards ending prohibition.
That would be amazing.
And the problem with saying decrim is it's ambiguous because they
I'm being
say
specific.
that what we have
Get
is
rid of jail
decrim, but what we have doesn't go nearly far enough.
No, it doesn't
so
go
we
far
don't
enough
want to
at all.
say that this is what we want.
That's the idea. This would be to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
I mean, we want complete end of prohibition, but they're not going to go ahead and wipe out prohibition on LSD and MDMA at the same time.
It's going to be step by step and inch by inch.
Yeah, it leaves us open to abuse by police officers who want to cause trouble.
Hey, but that's why we need more people to migrate here. So go to move.shiresociety.com if you're a libertarian, you care about freedom. We need more of you to be here. We'll see you tomorrow night, freetalklive.com. Thank you.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Dynavite is nutrition.
Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free.
New improved LicoChaps with omega-3, omega-6, vitamin E.
And now, 6 extra direct-fed microbials.
Even better for the digestive tract and immune system.
Try LicoChaps. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dinovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
You love Bitcoin. It's the future, right? Well, no, not if everyone stops using it. I mean, think about it. How many places in your town take Bitcoin? 1? None? Let's be real. If this Bitcoin thing is ever going to happen, it's going to need your help. The good news is the guys at AnyPay have your back. We built a website called helpmetakebitcoin.com, and it's a place you can send any business, and they'll be set up to take Bitcoin in 5 minutes. helpmetakebitcoin.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
The latest episode of Questioning Authority is next after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,498, silver at $17.79, and Bitcoin is trading at $10,265. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, a U.S. drone attack killed 30 pine nut farmers and wounded at least 40 others in Afghanistan Wednesday night. The latest killing of innocent civilians by American forces as the War on Terror enters its 19th year. The Mind Unleashed reports the farmers had just finished work and were sitting by a fire when the strike happened. That's according to a tribal elder. Reuters reported there may be more farmers missing, as Hyder Khan, who owns the pine nut fields, said about 150 workers were there for harvesting, with some still missing, as well as the confirmed dead and injured. A survivor of the drone strike said about 200 laborers were sleeping in 5 tents pitched near the farm when the attack happened. In a statement, Colonel Sonny Leggett, the spokesman for the U.S. campaign in Afghanistan, said the attack was aimed at Daesh terrorists in Nangarhar province. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. Environmentalists on Wednesday celebrated after a federal court temporarily blocked enforcement of a recently enacted South Dakota law that aims to hit pipeline protesters with fines and up to 25 years in prison. Legal experts and green groups have decried the law, officially titled the Riot Boosting Act, as a flagrant violation of the First Amendment of the Constitution that was obviously targeted at Keystone XL opponents, according to a report from Activist Post. South Dakota is one of several Republican-controlled states to pass legislation in recent months to criminalize pipeline protests. In June, Texas Governor